me help you with your vision, they losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like Meek Mills, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard, I'm talking words you understand, I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere, you know I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing till I love the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all fun and games to a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chillin' with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Turner brothers, yeah, we screaming lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah.
Check. Yes, check. All right, welcome to Saturday Football, live on the Roxamore Sports Network. Day 2 of the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Football Classic here at the Woodland Hills Wolvarena. Day 2, we have the first game up here. We have Brashear Bulldogs versus Brashear Bulls versus the St. Vincent Pallotti Panthers from Maryland. So far we saw some great football yesterday. Welcome back with us. Joining me here live at the Wolvarena and Turtle Creek. We're just about set for kickoff here. And the kick is a little short kick. Takes a bounce and it falls short, and they covered up by the Pallotti Panthers on about the 24-yard line. So once again, my name is Craig Thomas, and I'd like to thank you for joining us live here, Day 2 of the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Classic. So far, it's 1-1. We have a record of yesterday's games. One by Stowe Rocks, the first game. Won by Stowe Rocks over at Bishop Sycamore. And the second game was won by the Emotep Panthers over the Central Vikings here in Pittsburgh. Central took over that game late to win that game. So we're lining up for the first play here from scrimmage for the Panthers, and we looks like we have a little illegal procedure here. False start on the offense. This is going to back them up 5 yards. So we have two teams here. This is their first opportunity to go against an opponent in a game situation. So you can expect for these teams to go through some adjustments here, getting themselves settled to play some football and get into this 2021 season. Come out in a little pistol and handoff over the right side. And the running back is ahead for the Panthers. It looks like running back. Yeah, Cedric. That looks like Amos Cedric Benning. That looks like a 4-yard gain. Second down, and it brings up a second down at 11 yards to go. That was a carry by Cedric Benning over the right side. Looks like another good carry for the Panthers as they are content with trying to establish the run here. Another good gain there for the Panthers. Brings up a third down in a long 5 or a short 6. Come out in a little shotgun formation. Little motion from the slot back to running back position. Drops back for the pass, goes deep, throws the ball up. Intended receiver number 1 was covered up well there by number 7, the Bulls, Rashid Sanders. Pass was intended for Nathan Stewart. That brings up a 4th down and 6 here. So St. Vincent de Paul Pallotti team is out of Maryland, and they are coached by head coach Tony Ashley, assistant coaches Andrew Ashley, Adrian Korma, Cedric Benning, Jeff Moody, Joshua Moltz, Emil Palmer, Darian Tucker, and Keith Basic. And it looks like a problem here. The play punt was unable to get away, so it looks like the Brashear Bulls are going to start out deep in the territory of the Panthers here with their first possession. The Brashear Bulls take over with new head coach Andrew Moore with his assistant coaches Von Madden, Desmond Brown, Joe Hayes, DeMarco Lights, Tim Witznicki, and Gerald Hudson and Quentin Hill. So it looks like they're going to come out in a shotgun formation. 4 wide receivers. Back to pass. He has a receiver wide open. He reaches up and one-hands it. Great catch by that young man. Threw a back. It was a back shoulder throw. Jermaine Williams made a great reception on that play. First and goal for the Bulls at the 1-yard line. But that was a great catch by that young man. Back shoulder throw. And great reception to set his team up in scoring position here. First down and goal at the 1-yard line. So set up here, first down. Low snap, hands the ball off over the right side, and he walks in for Pater. Number 4, Sean Solomon, walks in for Brashear first to strike blood and score Pater for the day.
The trick is the time. Go, stop. That's the trick. Always keep your time updated in your first, second, and third down. And if it's 10 to go, 25 to go is right there. It's real simple. It's very sophisticated, but it's very simple.
Okay.
It's all you. Is it starting to rain already?
So it looks like we had a little bit of little confusion here with the extra point. So right now we're going to take a 15-minute lightning delay here. Looks like both teams are going to clear the field here briefly. We have some inclement weather going, so we'll stop right here and we'll pause for the cause and talk to you a little bit about what's going on with the players.
That's okay. Pallotti, you have 6 minutes 0. It's okay. You can just do some toggable, play some commercials too. Is it raining? All right, pack it up, bring it in.
So for right now, we have all the players that are taking it in for a little bit. 15 minutes, I think, is the protocol for a lightning delay. And see if this inclement weather passes here in Pittsburgh. Once again, we had a great day of football yesterday. We had Stowe Rocks versus Bishop Sycamore in the first game, and Stowe Rocks was able to come out of that game, although they seemed to be overmatched on paper, but they came out of that game with a victory over this Bishop Sycamore team that was loaded with stars. Here's the second game was Emotep versus Central here, Central of Pittsburgh, and great game. A lot of flags yesterday. All the teams were getting used to being out there on the field for this season, but they were a lot of penalties. But down the stretch, that Emotep team was able to exert their will and take over the game and drive down and get a winning score and get out of here with a victory. So that leaves a mark at 1-1, 1-1 for Western Pennsylvania versus everyone here. I'm Craig Thomas, and we're live on the Roxamore Sports Network. Make sure you tune in. We have 2 more games on the slate after this one. We have Harrisburg versus Pine Richland, with the final game tonight of Woodland Hills versus Wayne Valley. So we have a full slate today. Hopefully here in Western Pennsylvania, especially here in Pittsburgh, the weather normally passes through pretty quickly. So we look forward to this weather passing and getting back to live coverage here on the Roxamore Sports Network. We need to make sure that you know that all of these broadcasts all of the broadcasts are copyrighted or sole possession and priority of Roxamore Sports Network and its owner, Leon Rockymore. So any broadcast, any republications of this publication is prohibited without authorization. So we'd like to thank you once again for joining us on the Roxamore Sports Network. I'm Craig Thomas, and we have a slight delay in football, but we will continue to bring you live coverage throughout the day. So sit back, relax, enjoy your day. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Great day for football here in Western Pennsylvania, but we are under a lightning delay momentarily. We have just had our first score with Brashear getting the ball on a short field. The Pallotti Panthers were unable to get the kickoff and turn the ball over deep in their territory. A great reception by number 16, Jermaine Williams, got his team down to the goal line, and they were able to punch the ball in with a run over the right side for the running back. I think it was Sean Solomon that took it in for the Brashear Bulls. So once again, I'm Craig Thomas, and we just like to thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned. We're going to take a short break, maybe run some commercials, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Lisa Baldwin with Remax Select Realty. My experience and my commitment makes everything I touch turn to sold.
Call Lisa Baldwin at 724-933-6300 extension 489 or go to selecthomefinder.com.
Hey kid, let me tell you about the soul pit. and I want you to let everybody know about it. Soul Pit is what's happening in and around your city. Soul Pit is on the internet and around the globe. Soul Pit is on your block and in your car. Soul Pit is in your ear. It's in your hair. It's everywhere. Soul Pit is the latest news, hottest styles, culture, education, information, and more. It gets you ready for things to come. Hey kid, you know what the Soul Pit really is? It's a little something extra for your soul.
Films a shotgun formation, flanked by Siebels, and we have back deep, and you have him wide open, and it looks like he's going to go all the way to the house. Tariq Scipio, big play receiver for the Wolverines. Finally, they got the big play receiver the ball. Early detection and treatment is key to save lives.
So back to live action. Deontay Williams rolls out and finds a receiver deep in the end zone for the touchdown with 47 seconds left.
Trouble can find anyone. At Frank Walker Law, we take the time to understand your situation and work tirelessly on your behalf. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
Hi, welcome to Fit for Boxing Club.
Here at Fit for Boxing, you'll find a fast, fun, and effective workout where you can burn up to 1,000 calories.
Come try a free class at Fit for Boxing, where beginners are always welcome. It's fun for the whole family, people of all ages. Old or young, it doesn't matter. In addition to our trainer-led workouts, we also offer private lessons, community fundraiser and team building events for local companies and more.
Hi, my name's Mary. I've been a member at Fit for Boxing for a little over a year now. If you need to get a good workout in, come to Fit for Boxing, and Rich and his staff will take care of each and every one of you.
Fit for Boxing Club is located in Hampton Township, just outside of the city of Pittsburgh on William Flynn Highway. Come learn how to box and have fun. Call Fit for Boxing Club at 412-213-3584 or visit our website at www.fit4boxingclub.com.
Hello, I'm Leon Roxamore. founder and CEO of Roxamore Sports, Media, and Ministries. The beginning of grief from home services, it was an epiphany moment for me. I had a relative that recently passed away during this COVID-19 epidemic. I had family members up and down the East Coast, down in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way up. The funeral was here in Pittsburgh. The funeral home would let no more than 10 people in to view the body. I said, you know what? They're not going to get an opportunity to have closure with my family member, with their family member. And so it began. I began to say, why not take what we have, what we've done with the sports network, and now open up a new department in Roxamore and make a new platform for grief for home services. It's a ministry because it's service, and we are here to serve. We want to help families be able to still attend the funeral. We will go there, stream it for you, and you'll be able to watch it in real time with the loved ones who are there. Sometimes we just don't want to be alone. And we want the families who are grieving for their loved ones to know that they're not alone, that Roxamore is in this with you. I am in this with you. We stand together to help you grieve, to help you have closure, and to help support you through these difficult times until it passes. And this too shall pass. But we will be here ready to serve you, your family, and your friends. May God be with you. May God bless you and keep you during this difficult time.
Want to put a spotlight on some of these kids who could be going places, and we want to be there to help them get to the next level, whether it be Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, wherever they want to go, we want to support them and get them to the top.
We have some pretty successful and high-level bowlers that were able to gain exposure through Roxamore Sports Network. And so for me, the decision was a no-brainer from the standpoint of it elevated the profile of our athletic department, it elevated the profile of our school district, and most importantly, it elevated the profile of our student athletes.
To bring light and a mic to a situation to make a difference. That's what Roxamore has always meant to me.
What surprised me the most about Roxamore is, well, how dedicated it was.
So I'd absolutely recommend Roxamore Sports Network, and why is simply because Roxamore Sports Network is in it for the business of helping kids.
Delivering a sports experience like no other. That makes you say, oh, that's all right. As an old man would once say, that's all right.
to her fast, but wasn't fast enough. So I had to get her attention. I'm like, hey. She turned around, see me limping towards her. She says, oh my gosh, you've been shot. I just fell on the ground. There wasn't even nothing wrong with me.
Graduated from Ohio State Penitentiary. They got real classes in there. Anybody been in that school? No, they got real classes. Like, it's 50-year-old man in there. They was like, hey, fam, can you be quiet? I got school in the morning.
And I'm still fat. So if you watch season 1, I remained and maintained all this weight for season 2. I ate just enough fried chicken, cornbread, collard greens, mac and cheese, all that, just to maintain all of it.
Welcome back to Western Pennsylvania versus everyone here live on the Roxamore Sports Network. I'm Craig Thomas, and we are currently under a lightning delay that turned into a rain delay. We have heavy downpours right now, so all the teams have retreated to the locker room, and all the fans have taken cover. So at this moment, we'll continue to be under a rain delay, and we'll keep you posted. We'll come back periodically and talk with you about all things football here in Western Pennsylvania. Some of the things that happened yesterday here at this great traditional third annual Western Pennsylvania versus everyone kickoff classic from the Woodland Hills Wolvarena. We talked about early in the game, we had Brashear Bulls and their TNT keys to success were execute well, and to play mistake-free football, and to make big plays. And so far, we see from the Brashear Bulls that they came out, they did execute well in the one series they had, did not make any mistakes when they got the ball, and then they did make a big play on their defense to hold the Pallotti Panthers from being able to get their punt off and getting the ball back to their offense deep in the Pallotti territory. Also, the TNT key success for the Pallotti Panthers were to play good defense, to make plays on special teams, and no turnovers. And so starting out the game, we see that they were unable to hold the Bulls out of the end zone. Then their special teams came into play because they turned the ball over deep in their own territory. After a couple good runs, one penalty backed them up a little bit, but they were able to move the ball and have a short third down attempt, but turned the ball over and weren't able to get a punt off. So that led to the score. And so that wasn't a direct turnover, but it did affect the game early. And we are at 10 minutes and 17 seconds left here in the first quarter. Here from the Wolvarena George A. Novak Field, I'm Craig Thomas. We are missing my co-host has just joined me. Welcome, sir.
Hello, it's nice to be here. I'm Ty Polk.
Ty Polk is joining me, and we like to welcome Ty to this broadcast. And Ty's been doing a lot of work all summer with Roxamore and broadcasting a lot of different events here. So he's not a rookie. He's just new to this here Wolverine opportunity this year.
Well, the first time calling high school football, I have called the 7-on-7 leagues, the trips out to places like Michigan, New Jersey, Conshohocken near Philadelphia. It's been a great year to see 7-on-7 football. I'm glad to see the real thing, 11-on-11 football. And yesterday, running the camera, just seeing how getting a gauge on the speed of the game, how they play out there. It was a really awesome opportunity. And I want to say that game against Stowe Rocks and Bishop Sycamore out of Columbus, Ohio, 2 interceptions by Stowe Rocks really kind of changed the momentum in their way, because at times their offense wasn't really able to make the plays, and then their defense was able to put them in prime scoring position, and they managed to capitalize a few times out there, especially a touchdown, 1 play after one of those interceptions.
Absolutely, that pick 6, and they were able to actually they won that game. So that was a great game. It was a great day for football yesterday. All those teams were pretty much new, their first opportunity to play. So you did see a lot of laundry in the field, a lot of penalties, but you can expect that early in the season from a lot of teams.
Yeah, and reminders, this is week 0. This is basically their 1 preseason game. And really probably the most exciting match of the night was Emotep versus Central Catholic, a 12-6 victory that was punctuated by Emotep's, well, I guess it would be like, for lack of a better term, it would be QB power, but it also seemed like it was a direct snap straight to the running back, the way they used that power move.
Yeah, it was actually a wildcat formation. They come out with a wildcat formation. They put a running back there as a quarterback, and they directly snapped the ball to him. And that was their game plan coming out of halftime. That was their halftime adjustment, was to come out of in the second half and really dominate and exert their will up front. And they actually took it to Central a few drives there in the second half and was able to get out of here with a victory. The last drive ate up about 5 or 6 minutes in the clock, and they got the ball downfield and just willed it into the end zone.
Willing is less. I'd say more straight, just running it straight down their throat. The Steelers were facing the Carolina Panthers yesterday, and their motto is keep pounding, and that's exactly what Emotep did. They kept pounding the rock and using that wildcat formation, and now you make me think of it, I've never seen a team exclusively run out of the wildcat like this since maybe the Tony Sperano-led Miami Dolphins, maybe a few of the air raid teams down there, Texas Techs of the world, also Washington State, and now Ole Miss with Mike Leach. So, yeah.
That Emotep team was very large up front. They had a decisive size advantage, and it took them a little while to come to that realization that they needed to simplify the game and just take it straight at Central. Central had an opportunity with their speed and quickness to use that to their advantage, but a lot of the penalties in the second half went against them, and they didn't have as many opportunities offensively to utilize that speed and quickness to their advantage, and subsequently lost a close one here.
And it's kind of disappointing because whenever you looked over at the Central sideline, you could see it straight on the broadcast. They run deep, and when I mean run deep, it's like I'm talking they probably had maybe a 3rd team, a 4th team out there as well. I felt that they could have potentially just through different looks defensively, they could have lined up with it. I know that sometimes it's hard to stop a player like Stewart was for Emotep, but there's ways they could have limited it. I felt like they could have swarmed a lot of those wildcat situations because it was occasionally they did throw in some read option, but for the most part, as we hear the boom of thunder, and that means the lightning's coming soon, so this delay will continue. So it was just a thing that Central probably should have made more lineup combinations, probably should have been more active on the substitutions, especially with because Emotep really didn't do a fast hurry up. It's more like they were just trying to get everyone set so they could limit false starts, which were a little bit of an issue, and also those holding penalties as well. Emotep, I think, probably doubled Central Catholic in penalties.
Absolutely. I was down on the field earlier before the game talking with the referees. We probably had at least 50 penalties yesterday, and that's not overstating it. Probably 50 penalties, which is a tremendous amount between 2 games. But during that time, like you said, players were trying to get, acclimated to how the referees were calling it, but wasn't really like a very clean brand of football yesterday. But although it was very intense, the young men got out and played hard, and they gave it 110% and went after it the entire day yesterday. So, but we look forward to our full slate of games today, as we are right now in a rain-thunder delay here with the Brashear Bulls leading the Pallotti Panthers 6-0 early here in the first quarter. 10 minutes and 17 seconds left on the clock when we went into this delay. So make sure you stay tuned with us all day live on the Roxamore Sports Network. I'm Craig Thomas along with my co-host Ty Polk, and you can look forward to in game number 2 you have
Game 2 today will be Pine Richland versus Harrisburg, and of course it's going to be interesting with a new coach at Pine Richland and all the situation around that. We're going to see, this is our first chance to see if we're going to see the same old Pine Richland, which are WPIL champions, state champions as well, or are we going to see a new era that might not be as good as the era previously?
Yeah, definitely Pine Richland has a great tradition of winning. A lot of things going on during the off season, a lot of changes being made at Pine Richland. So we'll see how the kids come out and respond to it. The kids are pretty resilient. We'll just make sure that they have their new system in place and they have the plays down and they come out and play well. And then the third game is your host team here. The Woodland Hills Wolverines will be playing against the Wayne Valley team here out of
Wayne, New Jersey.
Wayne, New Jersey. So that's going to be our marquee game for tonight. Hopefully the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Talked to Coach Tim Bostard, and he's excited about the season. He's excited about the opportunity to get his team out there and restore the roar here at the Wolverena, as you have a great tradition of football here at the Wolverena that started long before this field and this tradition was started. It goes back to the Braddock days where it was a split school district, and it went to Turtle Creek where you had a Roger Scott and you had Mike Lee that come out of there, and then you have out of Swissvale you had Brian Chismar, Richie Stevenson, Churchill, you had Alvin Glenn. You also had a Damian Johncore. So there was a rich history even before this school became united and formed the school of Woodland Hills under one roof up at the Greensburg Pike location, which was the old Churchill location. Once we got together in 1988, I believe it was the first year that we played under one roof, but we had 130 players strong here at Woodland Hills. So when we came out at a home game, we took up 80% of the field. And that's part of the tradition that we want these young men to understand, that it started long before Woodland Hills became a unified school district.
And when you look up at Woodland Hills, I mean, the first time I entered into the building for the basketball games, which was my primary broadcast assignment, I seen all the names up there in the NFL. You've seen today's names like Miles Sanders, to legends like Rob Gronkowski, Jason Taylor, and so many more I can name off the top of my head, but those are like the prime three when you really think of it with Woodland Hills right now. So these kids are playing with a tradition, probably one of the more legendary high school venues around the United States. And sometimes with that, it's hard to live up to, but these kids do it every single year. They go out there, they play hard, and more often than not, they're in contention for WPIL championships and maybe opportunities to go to states as well.
Absolutely. One of the things that I think back about that time, we were going through a lot of things in this country, as we are right now, but the ability for the sports team to unify the community and bring everybody together is a magical thing. And right now, we definitely could use that with what we're going through as a country and as a community with this pandemic and coming out of it. So it's an opportunity for these young people to finally get back out there and do sport that they love and represent their teams, their family, and themselves very well, and have an opportunity to maybe better their situation and get an opportunity to go on to college and play for a scholarship, even in some of the smaller schools. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is if you look at Woodland Hills, you speak of the marquee names of all the people that we know that have made it to the NFL, but for every one person that you name, there were probably 4 or 5 other ones that had great impact on the program that maybe didn't have an opportunity to go on to the next level and play, but were great players in their own right. This is a very, very rich tradition of football, and I call it the football factory of Western Pennsylvania, the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
I'm hard pressed to not agree with you right there because there's so many great names and of course legends inside this community as well. You're one of them as well, going out to Michigan State and all that. So it's great to see that no matter what, that you're going somewhere. You're going somewhere, whether it be NAIA, D3, D2, D1. It's just important. It's where's the next place. It doesn't. Your football career may end in high school, but as long as you're going to college and stuff like that, that's still a win regardless. And that's the important thing for a lot of these kids. They're getting opportunities to enrich themselves, and not just in football, just in life as well.
Absolutely. Coming from this area and being a part of the Mon Valley, being a part of Woodland Hills program, it's great to see what football has done and what an opportunity it forged for you as a young athlete growing up in this community to be able to travel the world and see things that you would think you never have an opportunity to see, but being true and dedicated to your sport and to your craft is definitely going to open some doors for these young men. So I implore you to encourage these young people in every sport, not just in football and every activity in school right now. As we are struggling with this pandemic, I'm sure that they are having struggles as well. So it's very important to encourage these young people to continue to do well in school, continue to work hard, and dedicate themselves to their craft to have success in the future.
Yeah, and another thing that I'm excited about this year for Woodland Hills as well, getting back to crowds. There was few opportunities, especially up at the high school, for basketball games in which people were actually in the building. You know, there was the Stop the Violence showcase, but that was up at North Allegheny. But really, it was senior day, the first time that I could at least see, well, a glimpse of what it is like on a typical, you know, whatever night in which you could see great basketball. And, of course, with the tradition for the football team, I think that'll mean a lot more to have a crowd here, because all you have to do is take a look at Central Catholic. I mean, you could pan up there and you could see the entire student section filled almost to the brim. And I can't imagine that it's not too different when Woodland Hills is back playing their games here.
Yes, it'll be definitely live here. I recall a game in 1988 where we were pretty new to the Big East Conference, and we were playing against Gateway Gators here, and it was a full house. There was 13,000 fans here at the Wolvarena standing room all around the track, and that was a magical moment for not just us as players and as a team, but as a community, to see the community get behind a team like that and come out. It was magical, and I would love to see that back here again at the Wolvarena. So if you can come out. If you can't, tune in live on Roxamore Sports Network all year long. Support this team. Reach out to Roxamore Sports Network. Become a sponsor. Advertise your business, local, nationwide advertisement opportunities available here live on the Roxamore Sports Network. I'm Craig Thomas along with Ty Polk. We are still under a rain delay. The rain is slightly subsiding, so we look forward to getting you back to live play with 10:17 left to go in the first quarter. Brashear Bulls leading the Pallotti Panthers. I'm Craig Thomas, Ty Polk, and we'll be back shortly with live play.
Well, I want to talk about one thing here, and I have actually been able to call a little bit of football as well. Swissvale Braddock, the Youth Football Association, they are in action tomorrow against Clairton. And so it's going to be interesting to see. And that's really the feeder program coming up to the high school. And I'm sure that you've seen a lot of these kids out there. You probably coached them as well. And so it must be awesome to see the entire journey up from like maybe 3-4 years old to their senior night here at Woodland Hills.
Absolutely. So it's big right now. My counterpart, I'll give a shout out to him. Big Sam, the Lumberjack Timbers, has taken on a new assignment there to be the head coach for the Braddock Swissvale Midgets. But I was out there a little bit helping him out early in the year, but we want to wish him good luck this season, and hopefully he can get in here with us and do some broadcasts as well. But it's definitely a journey. I started out in the Braddock Midgets, was General Braddock Midgets at the time. Swissvale and Braddock were separate, but now they've combined the teams, and it's definitely an opportunity to work with these young people on that level and get them prepared for their play on a high school level. Most of us that played at 6 years old, by the time we got to the high school level, we already knew all of the fundamentals and we had all of the basics down. That made everything a lot easier for Coach Novak to be able to coach us up because we played so many years together, not just individually, but as a team. Everyone knew each other in this community. So we like to see it get back to a sense of that community and supporting the young people in the midget league, bringing your kids out, letting them play right here in the Woodland Hills School District for the Woodland Hills, Braddock, Swissvale midgets, Woodland Hills, Churchill midgets as well. So we have two teams here for the local community, but bring your kids out, let them get coached up by some good coaches, opportunity to come into this great program, this historically great program, and be a part of it and have impact on making some wins and losses here.
Yeah, and it's not about the wins, it's about the lessons. It's the lessons you learn from playing these games. And even the opportunity to go out there and practice a couple times, I bet it's a great feeling for these kids because you're gaining lifelong friendships. You'll remember them win or lose. You can go 0-12 and you'll still have great memories. You can go 12-0 and win the championship, and obviously you're going to have great memories. But sometimes it probably won't be the times in which you were actually on the field.
One of the things that I remember, the great memory that I had of Coach Novak. Coach is a great coach, but one of the things that he did, he used to pick us up right down there on 6th Street in Braddock. He would come by in this little gray station wagon. It was a K car. And he said, hey, son, his first year, he said, hey, son, stand down here right on the corner, and I'll come by here every day and pick you up. So on his way to practice, every day he would come through Braddock and pick me up and bring me to practice over here at the stadium for summer camp. That was one of the things, great memories of Coach. And his dedication, his loyalty to the program. Coach, we love you. We hope you're watching and listening. We hope you are enjoying your second half of your life, but that's what it takes, a community here to help get these kids to be successful. We can do it individually as parents, but we need, as a community, to come together and help these kids become successful.
It takes a village to raise a child. It's always been like that. And with my parents and they do in the daycare, it's a small part, but it's still parts. And these kids are now suddenly, like, they were like 6 years old, and now they're going into like their late teens, and now they always remember what they did for her. It's like even small things like that, like with your coach helping you get to practice, people remember that stuff forever. So it's always the little things that people remember more than the big things sometimes.
So it looks like the rain is slowing down just a tad bit. The teams are still in the locker rooms. We still are under a rain delay. And I'm Craig Thomas, along with my guest co-host here, Ty Polk. We're looking forward to a great day of football here in Western Pennsylvania versus everyone at the famous Woodland Hills Wolvarena.
And there's one thing I just wanted to make sure that I got this. There was a touchdown from Brashear. It looked like, but it was close. I thought the toe tap catch by the receiver at Brashear was actually a touchdown at first, but it looks like he was stopped down at the 1.
Yeah, it was a great catch, though. It looked like wide receiver Jermaine Williams for Brashear. I was a back shoulder throw, and he pretty much ran down to the pylon, leaned back, and one-handed, look like Odell Beckham-ish, reached out and grabbed that ball and pulled it in for a reception and set his team up at the 1-yard line. And they subsequently went in on the next play. Sean Solomon, the running back, took it in over the right side and brings us to where we are right now. With the extra point still forthcoming, gives us a 6-0 lead for the Brashear Bulls.
Yeah, and back shoulder fade throw in high school, that's a tough throw for most professionals. So for someone to make that in high school, that's going to be a future star if he keeps it up, and that's still an incredible play.
Great communication between the quarterback and the receiver. It takes that. So that's one thing about this game here. It looks, a lot of players go out and play, but a lot of these players make it look easy, and they are very talented. It takes a lot of work and dedication to execute well and to make big plays out here on the field. So while we have a moment, we'd also like to encourage you to make sure, if you have an opportunity, to wear your mask. And also, if you practice social distancing when possible. And also, if you can, please get vaccinated. The life you save may not be your own. All right? So continue to do well. We have 800 million people here in the United States, and we need to do what we can to protect ourselves and to protect each other as a community. So if you have an opportunity, get out. Please get vaccinated, and the life you save may not be your own.
Simply, it's going to be a fact of life right now. There's a lot of places involving vaccination passports. I know a wrestling event that's going to be up at the Arthur Ashe Stadium that's going to require proof of vaccination. It's just a way of life. So just do it so you can go back to life. I mean, it's not even that big a deal. It's just like 5 minutes. You get the shot. You sit around for another 15 minutes to make sure they check on you, and then you're free for the rest of your day. You're all good.
You know, there's a company that has a slogan that says that, just do it. But we're going to take it and bring out our own slogan, "Let's get it. Let's get it."
That's a good slogan to have. That's a good slogan. You hear that a bunch of times whenever you're playing football, playing any sport really. Like, so that's simple. Go out there and get the shot. It's not that big a deal.
Absolutely. So we'd like to thank you for joining us this Saturday afternoon live on the Roxamore Sports Network. We want to make sure that you know that all of these broadcasts are copyright and property of Roxamore Sports and Leon Rockymore. So any use or unauthorized use or redistribution of this product is strictly prohibited without the authorization from Leon Rockymore. So join us live for more football here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Today we have great games coming up. Great opportunity to see some football.
Yep, still had tentatively scheduled at 4:30, though I imagine with the rain delay, we will see Pine Richland Rams take on Harrisburg High School coming from Harrisburg, PA. And then at 8 p.m., the main event, the creme de la creme, the main entree, we will see the Woodland Hills Wolverines take on the Wayne Valley Indians from Wayne, New Jersey. It's Western Pennsylvania versus everybody. And so far, if you wanted to keep score, it's 1-1, tied with Western Pennsylvania and the rest of the nation getting a win apiece yesterday.
Absolutely. So speaking with Coach Tim Bossert, he's very excited about the season. He's looking forward to an opportunity to come out here and show what he's done with this team and putting them together this year. They got back into the playoffs last year, so that was a step in the right direction, even though it was an early exit in the playoffs, but it was a great season nonetheless. And so they're looking forward, and they're chomping out the bit to get back out here and get back to the winning tradition and restoring the roar at the Wolvarena here at Woodland Hills High School, George A. Novak Field.
And one person I'm looking forward to seeing out of Woodland Hills is Deontay Williams. He wasn't on for the 7-on-7 football stuff. He was a part of the Garfield Gators, but he was playing basketball for a little bit for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And, of course, he's up there around the top in the region in terms of high school football players, so I'm going to be interested to see him. He translates as a wide receiver cornerback at the next level, but he will be playing quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see him in his senior year try to see if he can sling the rock around George A. Novak Field.
Yeah, Deontay Williams, I think he's a junior, though, this year. I believe he's a junior this year.
Last
I seen, he was a sophomore, I believe.
Last I seen, he was actually a junior last year, moving into his senior year.
All right, I have to take a look at it for sure to verify that. But I thought last year he was a sophomore. But nonetheless, he should have a great impact this year, as he was the floor general on the basketball team, distributed the ball. He scored well on the basketball team. So we're looking forward to him to coming out here, taking control of this football team and leading them to very exciting football and many victories.
Another person I'm also looking back. They had another quarterback. I seen him in 7-on-7, but who knows if he's gonna actually beat a quarterback record. It seemed like it was an open competition from what I was looking at from far away. But Jashard Pringle, I believe his name, he managed to. I know that 7-on-7 is a 40-yard field, but he was putting it down to either at the 1 or was in the end zone and at least 1 or 2 shots. So, again, there's a vertical element to Woodland Hills offense that I want to see more of, but of course we will see the more traditional run-pass option from the team. But regardless, it's going to be an exciting year for Woodland Hills. They surely are going to be in the top half of 5A and compete for the WPIL championship, and I believe 5A will be back at Heinz Field this year.
Yeah, I believe so. One of the things about being here in Pittsburgh and being part of this tradition here at Woodland Hills is it's a lot different than a lot of places. Winning is the only option here. There's nothing else to do but win. So, when you have difficulties, then, you understand that what the goals and the objectives are. Winning is the option here. So here at Woodland Hills, here in Pittsburgh, the expectation is to win.
Absolutely. It goes with my alma mater, Steel Valley. I mean, for a while we were kind of like middling for a little bit. We had a few WPIL championships. A couple of guys went on to college and stuff like the pros. But then one year they managed to make it all the way to the state championship undefeated and put everyone in the mercy rule. It's the year before that, I think they were barely trying to make it into the playoffs. So from one year to the next, it's always so different here at this level. And it's going to be interesting to see what Woodland Hills can do, because one year you could be looking like it's like, oh, you're maybe 2 or 3 years from a championship, and the next year it might be going like, well, the future is now, and you're looking at the WPIL championship and more.
Yeah, absolutely. So Steel Valley has a rich tradition as well. Is that where Coach Novak actually came from, Steel Valley, over to Coach Woodland Hills after he had some success at Steel Valley, which put that program on a map. And then a few years ago, as you spoke about that one season they had, there was a ex-teammate of mine, Corey Keys, that was actually on the staff for Steel Valley. He played with me at Michigan State as we both went up to East Lansing to play with the Spartans, and he was on that staff. So there's a rich tradition here in the Mon Valley between Steel Valley and Woodland Hills, and there's a lot of talent that comes from this western Pennsylvania area, especially in the Mon Valley. So we like to just encourage all the young people to continue to work hard at their craft, whether it's football, basketball, or track, or whatever sport, or whatever opportunity you have to further yourself and better yourself and give you more options as a career and as a young person in life going forward, to make sure you are dedicated to it and you work hard at being the best you can be. Even in the classroom, it's important to be able to learn and to put your best foot forward. Study hard and show yourself approved and be positive.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to exactly be a sport. It could be just like in the broadcast booth. Long time ago, probably when dinosaurs used to run around. Not that long ago, of course, but I was a part of SPTV, and that opportunity was great. It was kind of my first opportunity to really figure out what broadcasting is all about, and it's always my best advice, whether you're in college or in high school, is if you want to be part of something, start early. Don't wait until your sophomore year, or until your junior year, until your senior year, whenever all these things are going on. Do it right now and create that habit and create that love for it, and then you never know where it could take you. It could take you to the Roxamore Sports Network. It could take you anywhere.
Absolutely. I'm grateful for this opportunity from Leon Rockymore. I took a few classes in college for communications and never really thought about having an opportunity in broadcast, but I have to tell you, Ty, that it's a great thing and a great opportunity. I enjoy it immensely to be able to sit up here and watch the games and be able to share our perspective and knowledge with what we see on the games with the fans, and just to be a part of it all. It's a great opportunity, and so I would encourage, all people and all fans and all students, if you have an opportunity to get into something, give it 110%, learn and be the best that you can be at whatever your endeavor is.
And right now we're still waiting for this rain delay. It seems like the last droplets were more off the overhang of the roof right here, but of course there was a couple of thunder rolls in the background, so I guess they're waiting for the last vestiges of that. There is a worry a little bit later about a potential another rainstorm right around the time of our second game, Pine Richland and Harrisburg, but that would be probably another hour delay or so before they get back to the game. And then we will see later on today Woodland Hills versus Wayne Valley Indians. And I'm looking over at the right side. I see that there's people hanging out at the concession stand taking cover from the rain. They were asked to move off the bleachers, and I imagine in a couple minutes, hopefully it's going to probably be the all clear back to the bleachers. I see a lone person on the other side of the media booth over there hanging out, or is that just a bag? It kind of looked like someone was hanging out underneath the tent, I guess, over there, you could say. You could see like the light blue and green. But nonetheless, there are a couple people moving out.
Yeah, also we can look down, Ty. I see the referees in the huddle. It looks like they're discussing maybe their timing and when they'll be back out here again with live play. I'd like to give a shout out to, it looks like a referee down there from this area, Andre Smith. Andre has been refereeing for quite some time, high school football, grew up in the area, has a son in the program here, coming up through the local midget league and probably playing for Woodland Hills, but he's a local person and comes from Woodland Hills area school district as well. Good to see him out refereeing and representing this area as well. So thank you for all the referees for your dedication as well in helping these young men understand the rules and become the players that they have an opportunity to become.
On a side note, working with Sam for the past year and so far, I'm glad to see that just like you, everywhere that Sam Timbers goes, I said, is a family reunion. He knows everyone, so it's good to see you know these people as well. And, of course, the referees, they do a great job here. And, of course, it was fun to see, like, you know, all trying to see, like, the intricacies on how they actually call these penalties because it's so split second even here. It's just amazing how they were able to really try to, well, make sure that everyone was playing the right way.
And so that's one of the things that was big about this area here in the Mon Valley. And it was a big community. You know, everyone knows everyone here. And so with a lot of people moving in and out, we need to get back to that same thing. Introduce yourself to your neighbor. Talk to your neighbor. Look out for your neighbor. Also correct the kids and be able to correct these young people and hold them accountable to have good behavior is what we need from everyone going forward here in this community. And let's get back to that big community family feel here in the Mon Valley, here in the Woodland Hills School District. Let's get back to that and be successful here.
So, Craig, I'm curious to wonder, like, I've been here since January 2021. So, and you've been here virtually since the beginning of the Roxamore Sports Network. What's been your favorite moment in a game that you've called? For me, it was actually calling kickball over the summer. I managed to call my first ever game winner, a tapper down the first base line that stayed fair, and it won Blackout the regular season championship. And, of course, with the high school sports here, I managed to see an exciting game between Woodland Hills and the Latrobe Wildcats in Latrobe. The Latrobe team, Ryan Sickenberger, hit the game-winning three with about 1.2 or less on the clock. It won the game, but it was Woodland Hills basketball team's closest chance to a victory. A very unfortunate loss there.
Well, I could tell you that I enjoy each and every game. Whether it's a win or a loss, I just enjoy the process and watching the young people compete. So when I come out as a fan and as an alumni, but I come out to support the young people in their successes and in their failures because there's lessons in each one. Whether you win or whether you lose, there's lessons to be taken away. And that's one of the things that was big about coming back to Western Pennsylvania to be a part of trying to change the landscape of things here for the young people. It was a great opportunity to get on with Roxamore Sports and to be able to be a part of this at Woodland Hills. But it's a great opportunity to life lessons, as you said, to teach the young people successes here in sports and in life. successes in sports that carry over into life. So to be here and be a part of it and just be a part of the program and seeing it success for these young people has been great for me. There's a lot of things I take away from the young people, their struggles and their successes. I talk a lot to them, and I try to listen to them and see what we can do as adults to help them to be successful.
Excellent words as always. So we are right now still in the last bits of a rain delay as some of the water bugs have managed to make their way into the broadcast booth.
So it looks like here, once again, we're still on a rain delay. And looks like the Brashear Bulls are primed here to maybe take a big lead and come out and maybe get their extra point. I talked with head coach Andrew Moore. They had a great 7-on-7 season, and you covered part of that with these Brashear Bulls, didn't you?
Yes, they were a very good team out there. The Woodland Hills, of course, won the championship. Brashear had a couple exciting games in that tournament that you can see on demand on the Roxamore Sports Network's Facebook page and YouTube page as well. That 7-on-7 league with the high school teams, it was a lot different from the sort of AAU-ish vibe in the true aftermath of the football regular season in around March and May. And that was the first opportunity I could see that, but it was highly competitive. With the 7-on-7s here, it seemed like it was more like a traditional high school game with a little bit more spread out, wide open action there. So it's one thing that I think it got the opportunity to show off quarterbacks' arms more because it required them to, be able to put it where either the receivers could only go and get it or where they could put it out in space and run. So, of course, they were touched up. It was a little bit of a different game. But, again, it was still nonetheless a very exciting game. Got to interview Tamir Robinson as well during one of the games. And, of course, being able to interview one of the head trainers for Evolve 2 Temps. It was just a great opportunity over the summer.
Yeah, that 7-on-7 is more geared towards the skill position players, the receivers, and the quarterback. You give them an opportunity to get on the same page and work on what we saw earlier, the back shoulder throws, communication, the hand signals, the gestures that are audibles for the players that as a regular person that you wouldn't see and you wouldn't know about if you're not closely affiliated with the game or with the team. So there's a lot of communication that goes on between the skill position players, the quarterback, the receivers, the running back, and even with the offensive linemen communicating the calls up front. But the 7-on-7 league is geared more specifically to the receivers and the skill position players to develop that chemistry.
I'm not sure exactly how much audio we're able to pick up off of these cameras, but just being up close and hearing the cadence and stuff like that, of course, everywhere around here, outside of the nightcap last night, it was a little bit more quiet, so I think people could hear the cadence, how high school and college elect to clap for the snap instead of hearing just a hut and then they go. So it was interesting to see a lot of the intricacies, I guess, of how they're able to communicate these calls, and looking up and seeing like the hand signals and net signals, whether they're going to run or pass, run to the left, run to the right, quick pass, long pass. You see that stuff.
Absolutely. What we call it is the silent count. So you go on a silent count, just communicate that well with the people up front, and they understand what the center is. He's going off the signal off of the quarterback, not necessarily the sound of it. Because you get into these games in some venues, you can't even hear the count. So a lot of teams have opted to go to that silent snap count and just go on the movement. So, again, that takes a lot of communication, a lot of practice, a lot of work hours and dedication. But we also would like to thank the parents, too, the parents that have taken the opportunity to make sure that their kids get to and from practice during the pandemic, during a tough time and difficulties, to make a way for their kids to continue to participate and have opportunities to do things and play the sports and the activities that they love.
Yeah, the parents really do make this all happen. Even the parents with 7-on-7, and that was still whenever it was kind of early on in the start of rolling out the vaccine. Of course, you seen a lot of these teams out there. It seemed like a regular weekend that might be viewed as a little bit bad, but it was an opportunity for them to improve their skills. And of course, it's what you do whenever they don't see you is how you can show out on the field when they all are watching.
So this 7-on-7 too is very big. My time when I was in Michigan, I was doing some coaching up there as well with the 7-on-7. So I'm familiar with a lot of the teams that you covered this year in Michigan. I talked to some of my former teammates in college. A couple of them run some of the 7-on-7 teams up there in Michigan, and they talked about, you know, the team coming from Pittsburgh and you guys going up and broadcasting it. So, but 7-on-7 was very big up there for a long time, and it has since become bigger here in Pittsburgh. But definitely for the last, I was in Michigan probably for almost 30 years, at least 20 years of that. The 7-on-7 has been running real wide open up in Michigan, giving our kids an opportunity to play more spring ball.
Yeah, just going up there, that was the first event going up to the Team Legacy out there in the sport houses over there, and just looking around and seeing all these teams. So it was just like, wow, and seeing that level of football. I was unaware of that. I know that it was coming up whenever I was going through high school and all that stuff, and there's a couple guys in the NFL that did play. Namely, I seen a name, Chris Godwin, who just won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was a part of one of those teams that won the national championships. And it's football's answer to AAU's basketball and all that stuff like that. You know, it's kind of like I've seen people taunt each other and like that with that. It felt like it was the mid-2000s with Chad Johnson hitting the river dance against the Chicago Bears. It was an interesting dichotomy, and I think if I would have known more about it, I certainly would have tried to play to get that opportunity to be a part of that.
Absolutely. It's very exciting. It's kind of like the arena football, the indoor arena football. It was more fast break style of football, up-tempo, a lot of scoring, a lot of opportunities. So it's 7-on-7 is kind of like a sister to that opportunity.
Still, I bought the video game for arena football, and I still can't understand the linebacker rules at all. It's one of the tougher things out there. I mean, jack in a box, mac in a box, linebacker outside the box, and all that stuff. It's the rules that, I mean, even with someone that was, how you doing? It was one of those interesting things out there. As I see a wave hi to a couple people from the Post-Gazette who I did work with beforehand. It was interesting to be a part of that because it obviously doesn't really have like the rule set of that arena football league. There's no worry about linebacker in the box rules, but still awesome to see that.
Yeah, just sometimes got to stretch. We up here sitting all day and got to stretch it out a little bit. But
yeah, the knees and all that, I understand.
Knees in the back. But great to see these young people have an opportunity, and looking forward to a lot of them playing in college. And some of the rules have changed even in college this year, as the opportunity for our athletes to now have their opportunity to capitalize on their image and their likeliness and their brand in college. So it's important to educate your kids right now while they're in high school going forward, so when they get to college they understand what the expectations are and there are no violations in college as a result of being misrepresented and representing yourself for opportunities, for endorsements.
So my question for you is that if NIL existed whenever you were playing in college, what would you have tried to got a deal from?
Well, I think I always think back about that. I think about, you know, one of the things I would like to have done was probably gotten a shoe deal, you know, try to get a shoe deal with Nike or one of the big shoe companies. And then one of the video games, I remember when I came out 1993, 92, or 91, there was a video game, college football.
College
Live.
Football USA?
Yeah, College Football
It,
Live.
it came from Bill Walsh.
And there was my likeliness was on that video game, but I did not benefit not one bit from any of those games that were sold. And to me, that's not right. Everyone is playing college football, and yes, it's great for these young people to have an opportunity to get their education and move forward into a good situation. But I think that if the coaches are benefiting from these players as well, and the salaries are astronomical. Coaches are making $20 million a year. That the students should be able to benefit as well on their likeliness, their brand, and their image. And I think back about some people that work in administration for the college, because essentially as a player and as a student athlete, you are an employee of the university. All right, and that's the way I look at it. You're an employee of the university. So the employees of the university have an opportunity for their kids to attend college with reduction in price or for free. So when you have an athlete that plays for you and they have an opportunity to attend school for free, but they don't have an opportunity to earn a living, and so that puts them in a precarious situation. That's why you see a lot of violations, and you see a lot of players get in trouble for taking money or just, putting themselves in a situation where it could be questionable and cause themselves to lose their scholarship or lose their opportunity. So to me, it's a great thing for them to have an opportunity to capitalize on their likeliness, their image, and their brand within reason. But I see the difficulty in it also on a non-revenue sports. How do you level it out? But I say that each college and university should have a player personnel person that could help filter this thing out and help lead it in the right direction and protect the players so they understand. Because most players right now that are in college don't have an opportunity. You're not going to have the time if you're playing full-time sport, big-time Division I sport, to be able to manage yourself and understand what you can and can't do, what's a violation, what's acceptable. So moving forward, I think it's going to be important for each college and university to put some parameters and put a person in place to help manage this for the players, to represent them in order for them to maximize their opportunities for endorsements and to be able to get paid. It's difficult as a young person, all right, to manage all that. So I would think it would be good for them to hire somebody to do that.
Yeah, and first of all, I'm gonna go now. I actually go try to buy like old school video games and try to play them. Now I'm gonna go buy College Football 1993, so I could go run up the budget with Michigan State. But there is a lot of things with NIL. For example, here in Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett has a deal with 93.7 The Fan. And then there's a lot of other people. They have deals with like Barstool Sports and things like that. And they're like primarily media companies, and some might have like food joints, and then there's auto dealerships. And then of course you do have that situation with the lower revenue sports. Like, okay, football and basketball are obviously this is obviously geared to them, football and basketball. The question is, where would this go for the other sports in which eligibility in terms of pro and national sports? See, they're kind of doing it similar to what Canada does with the Major Junior Hockey League, which is you're basically paid to play Major Junior Hockey. It's where Sidney Crosby came up, from 16 on to 20. If you don't make it to the league or anything like that, you have the opportunity to go play your college hockey up in Canada for 5 years. But they do get paid like a stipend or something like that. They're able to take local endorsement deals, national endorsement deals, and stuff like that. So the question is with them, are they going to be able to do something like that similar for at least the college hockey players? Like, can they get the same deal? But of course that opens up an entirely different can of worms there. Could they potentially move over from major junior back into college and so forth and so on? Because you can go into college at first, but once you go to major junior, it takes away that amateur status, even though technically you're an amateur up in Canada. And likewise with baseball, that would make a difference as well with them, because I don't know if you heard this, but minor league players don't make a lot at all.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't make a lot of money at all.
And then, so what if they can make the same amount of money they did in the minor league, still keeping their amateur eligibility, still having a bigger national profile? Because the AAA, AA, and single A championship games, if they're not on national television, they're on at the very least MLB Network, which is a national, and then it's local regional sites as well. So the question is, at the very least, if you play with a high-level college team, you're going to be able to make it to the College World Series and all that stuff. And then even with college basketball for women's sports as well. That's another thing that goes into there. Women's college basketball is arguably bigger than women's professional. But that's because people are tied to a brand, tied to a school. A women's sports brand doesn't necessarily have it.
So it looks like some of the coaches are coming back up here. All right, so we are still here. We're still here for Woodland Hills, and looks like the players are coming out here for Brashear, so we might be getting ready for play here. We haven't had any lightning for quite some time, and it looks like Brashear is taking the field, so those guys will be warming up here, getting ready for play here live. The Wolvarena. Here, I'm Craig Thomas with my guest host, Ty Polk here. We're live at the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Showcase Kickoff Classic, George A. Novak Field. And we should be getting ready for play here in just a few minutes. So we're going to take a short break here, and we'll be right back with more action.
Hey kid, let me tell you about the Soul Pit, and I want you to let everybody know about it. Soul Pit is what's happening in and around your city. Soul Pit is on the internet and around the globe. Soul Pit is on your block and in your car. Soul Pit is in your ear. It's in your hair. It's everywhere. Soul Pit is the latest news, hottest styles, culture, education, information, and more. It gets you ready for things to come.
I guess I'll be providing color.
Hey kid, you know what the Soul Pit really is?
I have no clue.
It's a little something extra for your soul.
Who was the running back that scored for Brashear? I gotta watch it back on YouTube.
I thought it was, who did he say? Who did the guy say? What did he say?
That looked like he was like from Bishop Cannon, St. Vincent Pallotti.
You said the running back name is what?
Excuse me, sir. Not to bother you. You said that running back for who? There was like you were talking to my
wide
broadcaster.
open,
The
and it
running
looks like
back.
he's gonna go all the way to the house.
Cedric
Tariq
Benny.
Scipio, big play receiver for the Wolverines. Finally, they got the big play receiver.
It's Cedric. All right.
His name is just Cedric.
Yeah, his name is Cedric. Oh God. Let's see.
Protection, treatment, key to save lives.
So back to live action. Deontay Williams rolls out and finds a receiver deep in the end zone for the touchdown. 47 seconds left.
spotlight on some of these kids who could be going places, and we want to be there to help them get to the next level, whether it be Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, wherever they want to go, we want to support them and get them to the top.
We have some pretty successful and high-level bowlers that were able to gain exposure through Roxamore Sports Network. And so for me, the decision was a no-brainer from the standpoint of it elevated the profile of our athletic department, it elevated the profile of our school district, and most importantly, it elevated the profile of our student athletes.
To bring light and a mic to a situation to make a difference. That's what Roxamore has always meant to me.
What surprised me the most about Roxamore is, well, how dedicated it was.
So I'd absolutely recommend Roxamore Sports Network, and why is simply because Roxamore Sports Network is in it for the business of helping kids.
Delivering a sports experience like no other. That makes you say, oh, that's all right. As an old man would once say, that's all right.
Welcome back. We're just about ready for play here. Western Pennsylvania versus everyone, with the Brashear Bulls back out. Everyone's warmed up, and we're out ready to attempt the extra point here. Thank you for sticking around with us. It took about 25-minute rain delay, and we're set for play. I'm Craig Thomas with Ty Polk, and it looks like we have an offsides here. So we have an encroachment against the Pallotti Panthers here. And so it looks like Brashear is going to go for two here as they accepted the penalty to move the ball half the distance to the goal line. They take the kicker out, and they bring in their quarterback like they're going for two. Number 5, Brandon Bazell at quarterback. Takes a snap, hands the ball off over the left side, and a running back is taken down for a loss. Sean Solomon is driven back and does not get the 2-point conversion.
Great penetration by St. Vincent Pallotti there as they managed to cut off the sweep play to the right. It seemed like they crashed to the right on their defensive line, and then they were able to get into the backfield.
Absolutely. Great penetration and to turn away that 2-point conversion. You'd like to see them go north and south and not east and west on that 2-point conversion, trying to get it. But nonetheless, the attempt was not good, so Brashear is going to be kicking off here with about 10 minutes and 17 seconds left here in the first quarter. The first game of 3 slated today here live on Roxamore Sports Network. We thank you for joining us, and we are set for the kick, and the kick is off. Short kick taken at about the 30-yard line, up the sideline for number 16. And that is
Kofi Irving for St. Vincent Pallotti. He managed to get out to about the, we'll call it the 36-yard line.
So, yeah, let's go. So, St. Vincent comes out of the huddle. The Panthers are set for play here. Their second possession of the day. Handoff. Running back has a little daylight, bounces the ball off the left side. Gets ahead for a gain of about 3. Real shifty movement there.
Couple of nice juke moves there. A little shifty there to get up to positive yardage right there.
Good run there by Cedric Benning there to get the ball off the left side. So it's going to bring up a second down and 6 yards to go for the Panthers.
Prince out of the pistol. almost like a pistol eye.
Hands the ball off over the right side, cuts the ball up inside, gets north and south, lowers the shoulder, gets the pads down, and gets it ahead for the first down.
So it's clear that St. Vincent's plan in this, after the rain delay, is to get the ball on the ground and try to get the uniforms a little dirty here. Now it's 1st and 10. Stewart out of the pistol. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now they motion over back to that pistol eye. Now another motion. Here's the handoff. The handoff to Jackson. Cuts over and manages to get positive yards there as he'll make it up to close to midfield.
Good cut. A little misdirection play there for get Cedric Benning up, giving him the ball. He's the workhorse. He looks to be the guy for this Panther team. He's going to get the ball early and often.
So officially a 3-yard gain, and here's 2nd and 7. Stewart in the pistol again. Right behind them is Jackson. They motion over. Williams.
Hands off over the left side to Jackson, and he's ahead for about maybe a 3-yard gain on a play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 5 yards to go.
So 3rd and medium, a nice misdirection on that play with a fake jet sweep to the halfback ISO just off the right guard. So we'll try and see what they can do on 3rd and 5.
Panthers in that little pistol formation. Motion to trips to the right.
Jackson, the H-back. Another give up the middle. This time it's Tolson, and Tolson fights forward. Picks up about probably 6, but it's enough for a 1st down.
So it looks like that's number 6. We just toted the rock there.
Correction, it's Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. Now a little bit of a problem there on the snap. Prince, but he still manages to fight up. Probably a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, good direct snap. Prince gets the ball, goes off the right side, turns the ball up, gains about 4 yards on the play. So looked like something the Panthers may have seen during this rain delay, but they've come out running the ball straight at Brashear, the Bulls, and they don't have an answer for this run game yet.
No answer so far. A lot similar to Emotep last night.
Come out in the pistol, motion to the left side, handoff over the left side, drives the ball forward, going straight at this Brashear Bull team, getting four chunk yards of play, which will get you a 1st down every time.
But officially another 4-yard gain. It's now 3rd and 2. St. Vincent Pallotti so far driving with runs either just off left tackle or off right guard, working in this snub pistol formation.
We'll see what Brashear does to counter this run game here, if they can bring more people in the box and shut down this run game for the Panthers. Handoff over the left side again, dips the shoulder, gets outside, has the corner. He's up the sideline and pushed out of bounds inside the 30-yard line at about the 26-yard line. Great run for the young man.
Nice block to free him up a little bit. He caught 3 defenders on that play, but also a little bit of a stiff arm earlier helped him out as he was able to bust around that left corner and picked up 1st down yardage.
Brashear takes a timeout here as Coach Andrew Moore is not liking what he's seeing right now out of his team coming out of the locker room. So looking forward to a timeout here as Coach Moore is taking a timeout to rally his troops and see what he can come up with. He may have to come out of his base defense and do something to counteract this run game, as the Panthers have this run game on full tilt right now and running it down the throat of the Bulls.
Yeah, it seems like their base seems to be like a nickel 3-5-5 maybe, a little bit like that, maybe a nickel 2-4-5 as well. But right now they've been able to break out in those pistols. It's a heavier pistol, but at the same time, the way they're all lined up close together, it looks like a snub, like maybe a short eye. It's an interesting little variant of the ever-changing spread offense in football.
So once again, the Panthers come out. There's no huddle at the line of scrimmage, communicating at the line of scrimmage, running their plays. And so they're lined up here. Brashear comes out in a base defense, and looks like a variation of a 3-4 and a handoff up the middle, and it looks like he is stacked up.
Well, this time they were ready for it. It actually looked a little bit more like a 4-3 maybe, as they had 4 linemen straight ahead and the linebackers right on top of it. And yeah, whenever you see the formation they're lining up right now, it looks just like that.
So the Panthers go to a huddle, call a play. Quarterback, Prince is at quarterback for the Panthers. He's been at quarterback the entire way. I haven't seen him throw, don't recall seeing him throw a pass yet. We'll see if they continue with the run or they open it up here and fake one of these runs and get a pass going. Looks like a jet sweep over the right side to number 15. Ignatius Williams on a carry. It's going to be a short gain on a play.
Nice trip up tackle by Daquan Griffin, as he was out on the far end and he managed to roam over into right around where the slot corner would be to make that tackle. So nice pursuit.
So it's an opportunity for this Brashear team to stop this drive here on this 3rd down, and looks like 8 yards to go for the Panthers here. Lined up in the pistol set, 2 receivers to the right. Fake the handoff, quarterback rolls out on the individual rollout. He gets the corner, and he is stacked up and hit hard by number 7 of the Panthers. What a hit by Rashid Saunders. Great play by that young man.
And really, you could say Saunders was the last man to beat, as whenever he made the turn over towards the left side, Saunders was a little bit caught up by a couple of the Panthers over there, but he managed to, well, just like the name of the team, bull rush over him and bull rush the quarterback and stop him dead in his tracks.
So it looks like the Panthers are going to keep their offense out and go for it here on 4th down. So this is definitely a pivotal play right now in this game for both teams, with the Brashear Bulls leading 6-0 with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left here on the clock. Pistol formation, hands the ball off. He fakes it, and he rolls, and he has a wide open receiver in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. We were wondering just a couple plays ago, I asked you when we would see the pass come out. So it was a great play fake and a touchdown off of that pistol formation for the Panthers. Great call by their coach. Great call.
And really, they'd been setting it up the entire drive. Brashear went single high safety, and when it looked like the quarterback, Kenneth Prince, was going to make it a designed run, he decided to switch over his position to the right, and Irving was wide open in the back corner of the end zone, and that's an easy pickings for 6.
Great call by head coach Tony Ashley. You said they set that up. So the Panthers are out, missing a couple people, running out late, but they're getting set for this extra point here. So they have the kicker out, and looks like all the players in place. Kick is down, it's up, and it's good. So the St. Vincent Pallotti High School Panthers from Maryland have taken a 7-6 lead late here in the first quarter. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. Craig Thomas here with Ty Polk at the Western Pennsylvania versus everyone. So we are just about getting set for the kickoff, Ty. So what did you see in that drive out of the Panthers, Ty?
The traditional run, and when they least expect it, make the pass. And Brashear, you can't fault them on that play call. They were doing what was called to them, and that was to basically put a hat on a hat and have the safety in the back. But whenever you manage to make a good fake, and actually the quarterback – Prince did make a good fake like that earlier in the drive. He did it again, and this time he made them pay for 6.
Absolutely. It was a great ball fake, and he rolled out to the right side, and there was definitely a misassignment by Brashear. The Bulls, if they left the wide receiver wide open over in the right corner of the end zone, allowing him the easy pitch and catch and go in for the touchdown for the Pallotti Panthers there to give them this 1-point lead. We're just about set for the kickoff here. And the kick is good. It's deep over the head of the Bull. Brashear Bulls, and the ball goes into the end zone. It's a touchback. Will come out to the 20-yard line is where the Bulls will take over on this series.
So the key for the Bulls really coming out of here, it's been a long time since their offense has been on the field. Really, it was that touchdown before the lightning delay was the last time they were on the field. So right now, it's kind of like a new game for them. Just get back in the swing of things, play your game, and drive down the field and try to take back the lead.
So once again, the Brashear Bulls are out. Quarterback Brandon Pizzell at quarterback, number 5. It's the ball back, looks deep, throws the ball intended for his receiver, number 16, Jermaine Williams. Passes incomplete.
And I've seen Pizzell for Evolve 2 temps in many of the trips that we've taken around the region this spring. When he's on, he's able to sling it just about anywhere on the field. So expect him to get, if he gets in any little bit of a rhythm, it's going to be an interesting game for St. Vincent Pallotti.
Both of these teams are loaded with talent. Many players that you see right now today will be playing big-time football programs here, playing on Saturday with the opportunity. Pizzell gets the ball out, and the ball is loose, and it looks like it's recovered by big number 55 of the Bulls. Gets over there, big fella, Aaron Ford gets over there, offensive lineman, and covers that up, 6'4", 275. Way to get over there and hustle, big fella, for your team and save that possession.
And that's really been one of the issues sometimes with a couple of these teams. It's been Butterfingers trying to hold on to the ball. But fortunately, it works out well for Brashear, and they'll still be able to drive here on 3rd and 14.
Yeah, that brings up a 3rd and 14. So we'll see what Pizzell has in store for this Panther defense. They're going to have to make a big play to get this first down. He drops back. He has plenty of time, throws the ball over the top, and he has a couple receivers in the same area. Looks like there might have been a missed assignment or error on the play because he had 2 receivers basically in the same area, which is not normal.
Yeah, you don't want your receivers to overlap. And it's one of those things that you could fix in the kinks in practice. It's week 0, so the game doesn't count on the record, but of course it's always about you want to have your best foot forward to start the season.
So Pizzell showed off his arm strength on that one, getting the ball down the left sideline, probably 20 or 30 yards in the air with just a flick of the wrist. Great job by that young man. Great protection up front. He had plenty of time to throw the ball. He just couldn't get it to anyone, couldn't find anyone open.
It reminded me a lot of what he did with Evolve 7-on-7. They have time there. There was options to blitz, but when he has time, he can sling it.
So it looks like a punt. Muff is fumbled, picked up by the Bulls, and I guess they're going to turn the ball over deep in their territory and return the favor to the Panthers that the Panthers gave them early in their first drive. So we had two big plays here on special teams, on the punt teams, that's going to have a big major impact on this game.
And last night we had a true fake. That seemed like it was more of a fake out of necessity. It's a lot tough to hold the ball even with your gloves out there whenever it's on the ground with, well, this turf here that's still wet. And it retains water, so it's a little bit of an issue sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like the snap was muffed and caused the Bulls to have to try to run the ball to advance it. Wasn't able to pick up the first down and turn the ball over deep in their territory. First play for the Panthers off the left side for a short gain. Looks like Thomas Jr. goes ahead for a gain of about 1 yard. Clayton Thomas Jr., number 6, a running back.
If you're Brashear, you have to be on high alert because they are trying to make that play again like they did in their first touchdown drive.
So they come out. Pistol formation. Motion from the right. Fakes to the running back and looks to the middle and tries to go down the seam. Passes blocked and batted away. Incomplete. Great defense for the Bulls there on that play.
Yeah, and one of those things, it was a run-pass option, and it looked like the ball was a little too high up the ladder for the receiver there. Unfortunate. They'll try again next down.
With 41.8 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, we have a close matchup with the Brashear Bulls versus the Pallotti High School Panthers out of Maryland, leading 7-6. In this Western Pennsylvania versus everyone showcase of football here. We have a handoff over the left side. It looks like number 5 once again, Cedric Benning. So been a workhorse so far for this Panther team. Gains about 2 yards on a play. That's going to bring up a fourth down here and about 7 yards to go.
So now they'll have to make a choice here, though. It looks like they may let time run out for this first quarter.
So that'll take us to the end of the first quarter where we have a close ball game here in the Western Pennsylvania Showcase Kickoff Classic with the St. Vincent Pallotti High School Panthers leading 7-6 over the Brashear Bulls here from George A. Novak Field. I'm Craig Thomas with Ty Polk. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to live coverage here, start of the second quarter here. We have a fourth down and 7 yards to go for the Panthers. He takes off over the left side and looks like quarterback gets ahead for the first down. Kenneth Prince fakes the ball and gets it ahead for the first down. Slides down at about the 10-yard line to put the Panthers down for a first and goal at about the 10-yard line.
What a gutsy call there, but again, the run has been working for Pallotti. And again, they hand it off to the running back in that little mini pistol offense, and if it's working for you, why not do it on fourth down?
Yeah, I'm looking to see what adjustment Brashear is going to have here, the Bulls, to this running game. I haven't seen much yet. Once again, a handoff over the right side. That looks like number 6 is Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. with a big gain of about 6 yards on that play to get it down to about the 5-yard line.
And really, it's been Benning and Bullock Thomas Jr. that have been the guys leading the way for St. Vincent Pallotti. They just haven't been able to shut them down up the middle when really that's the second straight game in which a team is just able to run it down a Pittsburgh team's throat.
But looks like the Bulls have to make an adjustment because they also have to account for the quarterback, actually Kenneth Prince as well, because he's a very capable young man of tucking that ball and making a move with it. As he takes off right there, called his number, and he takes it in for the end zone. So somebody has to account for that young man as well, as he showed his versatility as a runner there and getting the ball in the end zone for a touchdown, pushing the lead up to 13-6, favoring the Pallotti Panthers.
And really, that's all you have to say. A quarterback design run right up the middle, and of course, so many runners, not enough people to stop them. That's just how it happens sometimes. Everyone's a runner in high school.
So it looks like we have a stoppage in play here on this extra point. Kenneth Prince is the holder. Gets the low snap, and the ball is out, and it's available, and it looks like Brashear falls on it. So it was a low snap. Extra point attempt goes awry and is no good. So that'll give us a score of 13-6. The St. Vincent Pallotti High School Panthers are leading over the Brashear Bulls right here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we'll see if Brashear can come out here and make an adjustment and get their offense on track here and get some points on the board to pull this game a little bit closer. But what did you see on that drive, Ty?
Really what St. Vincent Pallotti has been wanting to do, being able to run the ball with a variety of runners, be it the running backs or the quarterbacks. And then really with Brashear, I don't know if it's just sometimes like maybe the pursuit angles are off, or maybe something in terms of like the game plan, but whatever it is, they do have to fix it right now because St. Vincent Pallotti has been owning them on the ground, and when they think and know it's going to be on the ground, they try to pass it.
So we're set for the kick. The kick is taken and touched by Brashear in the field of play, but goes into the end zone, leads to a touchback. It's going to be first down and 10 yards to go for the Bulls at the 20-yard line with 10 minutes and 27 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of the Western Pennsylvania versus everyone showcase at the Wolvarena.
And it's a crucial drive for Brashear. It's not that the game is getting away with them, but it's really something that they need to have an answer for, well, their defense, just to make sure they have some confidence and not make them, well, get sweaty palms out there because it's not looking good.
So the Bulls come out in a shotgun pistol formation as well. Hand the ball off to number 4 over the right side. Cuts the ball up, makes a couple people miss, and gets outside and gets the ball ahead as he's pushed out of bounds for about a 3-yard gain. And that is number 4 for the Bulls. I believe it is Sean Solomon, I believe.
Yes, it is Sean Solomon. Great job getting out to the corner there. And if you keep on doing those runs and just making them guess a little bit, you can kick it back up inside and you can break it off for a long gain.
So that Sean Solomon's a good young man to look for. He's a definite prospect for the next level and should be playing Division I on the next level here in the next few years. Pistol formation, back to pass, throws the ball over the middle, has a wide open receiver, and he hurdles over a guy. He hurdles the defender to get ahead for another gain of about 3 yards. That is number 1, Daquan Griffin, wide receiver, 5'9", 170. He's a senior, but that young man showed great hands and great ability to get the ball up and over one of the defenders.
So I guess he was watching plenty of tape of Najee Harris out there. Nice hurdle over the defender. And, of course, that'll always be a highlight reel play.
So that gives a first down for the Bulls, and they move the ball out to the 36-yard line. They come out with 4 wide receivers, shotgun pistol formation. Low snap, fakes the ball. He's in trouble under duress and thrown down by number 12, Braxton Harsley. Great play by Braxton Harsley on that play. The snap was low. Loss of 7 on a play. Brings up a second down and long.
And a bobbled snap means barbecue chicken for a defense. You have to really be able to handle the center quarterback exchange, and Pizzell will certainly look that ball into his hands on this next play.
So that brings up second down and 17 yards to go. The Bulls are in shotgun formation. 4 receiver set. Rolls to the right, looks to the left, steps up, eludes a couple receivers, takes off. He has a blocker in front of him, and he takes a big hit, and the ball comes out late, but I believe he was down. He takes a big hit from the Panthers, and they call it a turnover on plays. Brandon Pizzell was hit hard there violently. Looked like he was down before the ball came out, but we don't have the ability to have instant replay here in in high school, but from this vantage point, it looked like he was down before the ball came out.
A little bit of a scary play there. I thought he got hit in the head there on the way down, and sometimes that can be enough to put the ball over.
So it looks like the call on the field is it was called a fumble, ruled a fumble, and the ball was recovered for St. Vincent Panthers, and they're going to take over deep in the Bulls' territory with an opportunity to add to their lead.
And not what Brashear wanted, especially with St. Vincent Pallotti in their last 2 drives picking up touchdowns. This could be very big trouble for them in this half if they're able to continue their ways on the ground, and which is just running up the budget and running it down their throat.
So it looks like Coach Andrew Moore for the Bulls is out there having a discussion with the referees. He's not happy with the call and definitely wanted to challenge the call, but looks like his questions have fallen on deaf ears, and we are continuing with the play.
It's within reason. Unfortunate situation.
So it looks like the Panthers come out. Same formation with the pistol. Has his favorite 2 running backs in the backfield. Get motion from the left. Fakes the jet sweep. Hands the ball off up the middle to Clayton Bullock Thomas again. Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. again. And he goes ahead for about a 1-yard gain.
That was an interesting little bit of a wrinkle in their pistol formation. It looks like there were trips to the left, and they had an H-back in what the tight end would be. So they're switching up their formation a little bit. It's a new wrinkle for Brashear. They have to be on the lookout.
So I know that the Panthers did beat Brashear on a pass, but that was only on 1 play. I'm not sure what the adjustment would be, but we'll see if they adjust to it and bring more people in the box. And try to. It's a deep pass down the sideline. He has a receiver open he had gotten behind the defender. The pass was a little bit wide and let him out of bounds.
He just overshot his man over there. It was going over to that right boundary, and yes, he had a couple steps on him, not just one. And unfortunately, just wasn't in the right air length there. So we'll try again.
That was good arm strength shown there by Kenneth Prince to get the ball down that right sideline and out of bounds, but a little bit off the mark there with that throw.
Just working out the kinks here in week 0.
So that brings up a 3rd down and 9 yards to go for this St. Vincent Pallotti High School Panthers out of Maryland. And they have a wealth of talent. They are loaded. And some of these players you have seen so far have an impact on the play, on the game. We have Nathan Stewart, wide receiver, quarterback, Mitchell Garner, Cedric Benning has had an impact so far, Clayton Bullock, Daniel Wingate, Marquise Alsop, Montana Williams, Gabriel Williams, Jordan Sampson, Colin Coates, Mark Wallace, and Ryan Howerton. So some of the players to look at during this team here for this St. Vincent Pallotti team. So it brings up a 3rd down and 9 going forward. Come out in there, stand there, set. Short pistol with a motion from Cedric Benning, and they hand the ball off to Benning. He eludes a couple tackles and gets up the field over the right side for a gain of about 3 yards. Welling Winnington for the Bulls, a 2-yard gain. That's going to bring up a 4th down and about 7 yards to go here.
And again, they were still using that short pistol eye there, and it almost broke. And it was almost broken free by the running back. Just another tackle to miss, and he would have gotten around that corner, and he would have been in pay dirt.
So once again, it looks like Brashear, the Bulls need to be aware of this pass here. They've been lulled to sleep with the run so much, the heavy laden run, that they have to be aware for the pass right now. And it looks like the ball is loose, and the ball comes out, and it looks like the ball is recovered by Brashear, which is going to be a turnover on downs anyway because that was 4th down. So defense for the Brashear Bulls stands up and shuts down St. Vincent de Paul Panthers on that series.
And that's really what Brashear needed on that defensive possession. They're able to get off the field. They're able to get a little bit of luck as they have probably some of their best field position of the day. So we'll see if they can capitalize. And really one thing about St. Vincent Pallotti, they've been able to use that H-back and they transform into a fullback maybe in that formation.
So with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the second quarter, we'll see if the Bulls have an opportunity to put some points on the board. But Brashear comes out off a change and turnover, and they actually take a timeout to try to get on the same page. So we have a slight timeout right now of play. Craig Thomas along with my man Ty Polk here from the Wolvarena, George A. Novak Field, the 2021 Western Pennsylvania versus everyone kickoff. Great game here, this first game. Looks like you got a lot of great athletes out there. What are you looking forward to going forward for the rest of this game going into the second half, Ty?
Well, the question is, can Brashear stop that short pistol eye? Can they stop the H-backs going back into the backfield and really snuff out some of those option plays and shut down the QB runs as well? And for Brashear, offensively, it's about trying to get back in rhythm. They scored on their second drive, and since then they've really been shut down in probably less than 7 plays. So it's just about them trying to get an offensive groove out there. Zell has been able to make these long throws. It's just about completing them. They've got a couple of those throws underneath. They have to sweeten up the defense, and then they can go over the top.
So I'm not sure. Looks like we have a change at quarterback for Brashear.
And it looks like that is going to be Tamir Robinson. He plays linebacker as well on defense.
And they have a fumble, and the ball is pitched from number 3 for the Bulls. Tamir Robinson at quarterback, hands off to Daquan over the right side and falls over the ball, and he loses about 7 or 8 yards on the play. That gives us a 2nd down and 17 yards to go here. So once again, the Bulls are starting out this series going the wrong way with their leader and their quarterback out. Looks like he's been sidelined on that last play. So Brashear has used their final timeout. I'm not sure what the coach. Coach Moore is out on the field again talking to the referees. I'm not sure what he's discussing, but he's burned up all of his timeouts with 5 minutes and 43 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
I think it's just been disappointment right now with a couple of these situations that Brashear has been able to get themselves into. Again, both teams have kind of had issues with handling snaps, handling pitches right now, but it's about them trying to get at least a idea, trying to figure out what they want to do here, because right now Brashear has an opportunity to get within 1 point or tie it up right now, and really with St. Vincent Pallotti's offense, they probably should be up a little bit more than 7 points right now.
So it looks like timeout is just about over, and it brings up this 2nd down and 17 here. Looks like number 5, Brandon Pizzell, is back in the game. So whatever his issue was, it looked like he's shaking it off, and he's getting back in the game for these Bulls. So we'll see what the play call is. A shotgun formation, pistol look. Pizzell is back to pass, dumps the ball off, throws it at the feet of his receiver. Looks like number 2, Cameron Cheatham, was the intended receiver. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 17.
And 3rd and long situations, not what they wanted right now. That was more of a less a pass that they wanted to complete to get themselves into something that they could potentially, convert on 3rd down.
Yeah, Coach Moore was out on the field coaching up his team, talking to his players, trying to get them to get involved and understand you're on the field and play the game. So coaching up Cameron Cheatham, saying, hey, son, let's go. Get your head in the game. Pizzell's back to pass, and he has a receiver wide open, and he has a lot of room. It's number 1 up the sideline. He's ahead for a 1st down. Daquan Griffin, great crossing route, great pass, pitch and catch, ahead for a 1st down.
And that's exactly what Pizzell did whenever he's with Evolve. He was able to make those short passes, get up the field, and allow his receivers to do the work.
So it looks like the Bulls are on the move here with 5 minutes and 13 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. No timeouts left. So you have to be mindful of that once this clock gets down under this 2-minute mark. Pizzell at quarterback, he was out for a couple plays, and now he's back in the game. Hands the ball off over the right side to number 4, and he gets through a couple tackles and falls ahead forward for a gain of about 2 yards for the Bulls. That is Sean Solomon on the carry.
So now after the big play, it's for the next one. It's for the Bulls. It's picking up another 1st down. It's getting confidence right now. Again, they haven't scored since their 2nd drive, and they had to go with probably about an hour delay. It's time to get this offense back in sync.
So Pizzell back at quarterback, flanked by Solomon. Shotgun formation. 4 wide receiver set. Pizzell gets a snap. Is under a little bit of pressure, throws the ball over the middle, has a couple receivers on the crossing route, and the pass falls incomplete. Pizzell's fortunate that ball was not picked off, throwing the ball over the middle high like that. It's fortunate that ball fell to the turf and was not picked off.
Yeah, fortunately, no one in the vicinity for St. Vincent Pallotti.
So that brings up a 3rd down and 8 yards to go for the Bulls from Brashear.
St. Vincent Pallotti looks like they're staying a nickel, but their linebackers are playing a little bit back.
You have Pazel in shotgun, flanked by Solomon. Motion from the jet sweep. And he's up the field. Looks like he is going to be close to the first down. Once again, hands the ball off to Daquan Griffin, who comes around on the jet sweep, being led upfield by Sean Solomon as the lead blocker. Did you see that? Sean Solomon as the lead blocker did a great job there for that young man.
That's exactly what they needed. Everyone has to work in there for blocking, and again, you'll take it from anyone.
So that brings up a 1st and 10 on a 30-yard line for Brashear Bulls. Oh, looks like a quick snap, and it looks like Pazel wasn't ready, but he did gather the snap and was able to throw the ball away and come back and be able to run the next play.
But even when he threw that ball away, I noticed that a defender had his paws out trying to get the ball. And at least from our vantage point, he looked like he was awfully close. Maybe if he was a little bit ready for the jump, that's an interception.
So that brings up a 2nd down and 10 yards to go at the 30-yard line. And we are under the 4-minute mark. Here in the second quarter, it looks like a little bit of confusion here for the Bulls as they run the receiver to the left side late.
They got a man open over number 8 in the slot. They fix it.
And he comes across the middle, and the pass is high and behind him again as Pazel has thrown the ball.
And St. Vincent Pallotti is very lucky there because they almost allowed a free runner in the slot, and he would have probably gone to the end zone. But a nice late switch over by the defender saves them there.
Man, you like to see the young people play football there. And instead of doing that little slant across the middle because he had the defender come late, maybe give him one and take it away and take him on a deep route and see can you get that easy score.
Oh, yeah. It would have been massive floater alert for that one.
So we have 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Pazel back at quarterback, and he has a low snap, and he just falls on the ball. So as you stated, this is game 0. You see a lot of low snaps. Not as many penalties today, but a few errors on the teams. But I think they're all working them out and trying to get ready for the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the many things that teams have to work on there, and it comes in due time. You see that less as the season goes on, but, of course, you never like to see it early either.
So that brings up a 4th down and 15 for the Bulls of Brashear on about the 35-yard line here with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go on the clock and counting. No doubt they're going to throw this one up for the end zone and try to get something big here. And they have a receiver open, and he reaches up for the ball, and it's off of his fingertips. Great defensive play by the Pallotti Panthers there as they get the ball on a turnover on downs.
And it's just been an out-of-sync offense when it looks like they have everything together, and then they just fall apart in the final half of the field, and unfortunate for Brashear.
So it looks like we have 2 teams that are evenly matched, and looking at Brashear's team, you have some impact players as well. Daquan Griffin, Tamir Robinson, Sean Solomon, who we've seen make plays. Rasheed Saunders has made plays. Kevin Smith, Aaron Ford, and Demetrius Moore. So we have some impact players on both sides of this field here, and we'll see who can make a big play to get their team up. And it looks like a big hit there by number 1, Daquan Griffin. He's carrying the ball on offense and also coming up laying a wood on defense.
Yeah, they tried that sweep over across on the left corner there, and he managed to shut him down in his tracks.
Yeah, it looks like Bullock Thomas Jr. had a full head of steam going up that left sideline, and he looked like he ran into the Terminator, turned him away, sent him back packing.
Well, hopefully they'll be back on this next down.
Brings up a 2nd down and 8 yards to go here for the Panthers. Hands the ball over the right side. He steps through a couple tackles and keeps the legs moving. drives ahead for a gain of about 7. That's going to bring up a 3rd down, and it looks like about 1 yard to go for the first down, a long yard. Great run by Clayton Bullock Thomas, keeping his legs churning, moving the pile forward.
Yeah, and Thomas Jr. has really been able to, well, as you said, move the pile, but also be a little bit shifty as well. You have to like the backfield combination they have there. Of course, they have the quarterback in Prince who can run. They also have Benning who can also make a couple defenders miss, and then sometimes you just need to bolt someone over, but also have a little bit of style with it. You have Bullock Thomas Jr.
So we're all set for play. 3rd down and 1. The Panthers set up the shotgun formation. Prince is flanked by Benning and Bullock Thomas Jr. Fakes the ball, keeps it himself, and cuts it up and goes ahead for the first down. Kenneth Prince on a carry, quarterback keeper, gets ahead for the first down for the Panthers. Move the chains.
And there's the 3-headed monster for the Panthers. That's what Brashear has been trying to deal with all day. It's who's going to have the ball. Is it going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be the 2 running backs? Are you going to see the H-back move back under?
I'm not sure that the Panthers are paying attention to the clock here because we're down under about 20 seconds, and they just hand the ball off going up the middle. Don't burn the timeout. So now they use a timeout, but they lost a lot of time on that clock. You would think they'd be trying to get more points on the board, leading 13-6 right now, but that's definitely not a safe lead here.
Well, I think it's just their offense by design. They've been able to run the ball, though, and really most of their passing action has been made off of that play action. So, again, you can't really blame them for what they want to do out there. It's just what they've been doing the best so far.
Yeah, they have stayed true to their personality and what they have set out, looks like, in their game plan to do today. But I would look forward to some type of trick play right here to try to get some points on the board right before the half. So look for a fake play action play out of these Panthers here and see if they can get another touchdown here right before the half. If I was the coach for the Bulls, I'm sure he's telling them right now, looks like he's out on the field talking to his players and letting them know, Coach Moore saying, don't get beat deep, son. Keep everything in front of you. Don't let anyone behind you.
Yeah, this is probably one of the first times they have 2 safeties high today.
So it looks like they're playing a zone. Cover 2. Looks like rolls out to the right, has a man wide open for a touchdown. Kenneth Prince gets the ball, rolls to his right. Not sure how the defender lost his man. Gets back there behind him and goes in for the score. Great pitch and catch to Kofi Irving. Great catch by the young man. 47-yard touchdown strike.
And really, Irving, he just managed to make sure that didn't fall through the breadbasket there because he had both hands under it, and he managed to trap it with his legs and then get it back to his hands there.
Definitely almost dropped that pass. He was too wide open, but a good pass by Prince to get that ball out to a wide open receiver. Extra point is down. It's up. A low snap, but Prince was able to gather that, get the ball down. PAT is good to put the score up with 5.5 seconds left on the clock. 20-6 with the St. Vincent Pallotti Panthers of Maryland leading over the Brashear Bulls 20-6 here at the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Showcase.
And really now St. Vincent Pallotti's offense is going vertical. It's not just the ground that's now going through the air, and that's a whole new set of troubles for Brashear.
So definitely, we mentioned it, calling it from up here, you knew that Brashear was going to try to take one up top because they've been running the ball consistently. Not only have they been running the ball consistently, but they have also had success running the ball, which creates a whole nother dynamic and causes the linebackers and the defensive backs to have to step up to support the run, and thus doing that, leaving the defender wide open behind the defense for a touchdown.
And they had 4 defensive backs high out there, so really there's just no excuse. They got beat for a touchdown with a single high safety. You'll live and die with that, especially if there's a team that likes to run and do play action.
So the kick is off. Kick bounces into the end zone. I'm not sure the strategy on that. Why Brashear wouldn't try to catch the ball and get a big play and run one back. I mean, special teams can make a play and make a difference here in this ball game and give you an opportunity to get back in the game if possible.
My guess is that I guess they want to take another break to go take a look at the offense. Though I was down there in the lockers in between that because I was the cameraman at first with all the equipment. It seemed like they were still a little bit antsy, so I don't know if their energy was just sapped due to this hour or so break, but I imagine that Coach Moore will get them back settled for the second half.
Brandon Bazell is back at quarterback again for the Bulls. Comes out of the huddle with 5.5 seconds to go on the clock, and I'm assuming they're probably just going to run the clock out, but no, they throw the ball out to the left side. Little bubble screen to number 1, Daquan Griffin. He gets up the field for a short gain, and that'll take us to the half. Halftime score here at the Western Pennsylvania versus everyone Kickoff Classic is the St. Vincent Pallotti High School Panthers from Maryland 20 over the Brashear Bulls of Pittsburgh 6. So thank you for joining us. I'm Craig Thomas with my guest co-host Ty Polk, and we are here at the Wolvarena, and we will take a short commercial break, and we'll come back and talk to you about the first half and what the adjustments will be and what to look forward to for the rest of the day on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Lisa Ball. My experience and my commitment makes everything I touch turn to sold.
Call Lisa Baldwin at 724-933-6300 extension 489 or go to selecthomefinder.com.
Hey kid, let me tell you about the Soul Pit, and I want you to let everybody know about it. Soul Pit is what's happening in and around your city. Soul Pit is on the internet and around the globe. Soul Pit is on your block and in your car. Soul Pit is in your ear. It's in your hair. It's everywhere. Soul Pit is the latest news, hottest styles, culture, education, information, and more. It gets you ready for things to come. Hey kid, you know what the Soul Pit really is? It's a little something extra for your soul. Hey kid, let me tell you about the Soul Pit, and I want you to let everybody know about it.
Films a shotgun formation, flanked by Siebels. And we have back deep, and you have him wide open. And it looks like he's going to go all the way to the house. Tariq Scipio, big play receiver for the Wolverines.
Finally, they got the big play receiver the ball.
Early detection and treatment is key to save lives.
So back to live action. Deontay Williams rolls out and finds a receiver deep in the end zone for the touchdown with 47 seconds left.
Trouble can find anyone. Trouble can find anyone. At Frank Walker. Trouble can find anyone. At Frank Walker Law, we take the time to understand your situation and work tirelessly on your behalf. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
Hi, welcome to Fit for Boxing Club.
Here at Fit for Boxing, you'll find a fast, fun, and effective workout where you can burn up to 1,000 calories.
Come try a free class at Fit for Boxing, where beginners are always welcome. It's fun for the whole family, people of all ages. Old or young, it doesn't matter. In addition to our trainer-led workouts, we also offer private lessons, community fundraiser and team building events for local companies and more.
Hi, my name's Mary. I've been a member at Fit 4 Boxing for a little over a year now. If you need to get a good workout in, come to Fit 4 Boxing, and Rich and his staff will take care of each and every one of you.
Fit for Boxing Club is located in Hampton Township, just outside of the city of Pittsburgh on William Flynn Highway. Come learn how to box and have fun. Call Fit 4 Boxing Club at 412-213-3584 or visit our website at www.fit4boxingclub.com.
Hello, I'm Leon Roxamore, founder and CEO of Roxamore Sports, Media, and Ministries. The beginning of Grief from Home Services, it was an epiphany moment for me. I had a relative that recently passed away during this COVID-19 epidemic. I had family members up and down the East Coast, down in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way up. The funeral was here in Pittsburgh. The funeral home would let no more than 10 people in to view the body. I said, you know what? They're not going to get an opportunity to have closure with my family member, with their family member. And so it began. I began to say, why not take what we have, what we've done with the sports network, and now open up a new department in Roxamore and make a new platform for Grief for Home Services. It's a ministry because it's service, and we are here to serve. We want to help families be able to still attend the funeral. We will go there, stream it for you, and you'll be able to watch it in real time with the loved ones who are there. Sometimes we just don't want to be alone. And we want the families who are grieving for their loved ones to know that they're not alone, that Roxamore is in this with you. I am in this with you. We stand together to help you grieve, to help you have closure, and to help support you through these difficult times until it passes. And this too shall pass, but we will be here ready to serve you, your family, and your friends. May God be with you. May God bless you and keep you during this difficult time.
Want to put a spotlight on some of these kids who could be going places, and we want to be there to help them get to the next level, whether it be Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, wherever they want to go, we want to support them and get them to the top.
We have some pretty successful and high-level bowlers that were able to gain exposure through Roxamore Sports Network. And so for me, the decision was a no-brainer from the standpoint of it elevated the profile of our athletic department, it elevated the profile of our school district, and most importantly, it elevated the profile of our student athletes.
To bring light and a mic to a situation to make a difference. That's what Roxamore has always meant to me.
What surprised me the most about Roxamore is, well, how dedicated it was.
So I'd absolutely recommend Roxamore Sports Network, and why is simply because Roxamore Sports Network is in it for the business of helping kids.
Delivering a sports experience like no other. That makes you say, oh, that's all right. As an old man would once say, that's all right.
Welcome back to live coverage here at the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Showcase here at the Wolvarena. I'm Craig Thomas here, along with my co-host, Ty Polk. We want to give you a brief synopsis of the first half and talk about maybe the adjustments that you can look forward to going to the second half. Ty, what you see in the first half?
Well, the story of the first half is just that Brashear's offense, since the lightning delay, has been stuck in neutral. They've been able to make a couple big plays off of short passes on crossing routes that have managed to get a couple gains out there, but their run game has been inconsistent, and really even quarterback play has been pretty inconsistent. They had one shot deep, and it fell incomplete. So right now, Brashear's offense is just, I don't know if it's from the breaks or something like that. It threw off the rhythm, but it's a different team from the team that came out whenever we had before the lightning delay.
Yeah, and the St. Vincent Pallotti Panthers, they come out with a three-headed monster, and they pretty much have been running the ball with Cedric Benning and Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr., and also sprinkling their quarterback, Kenneth Prince. But then they ended up making some splash plays with big pass plays over the top, faking a run, catching the Brashear Bulls off guard, and getting deep touchdowns as a result. I'm not sure how right before the half that the Bulls come out. Look, you said it was a cover 4 and quarters, and still allow the defender to get behind them for a big play at the end of the half, leading to that touchdown.
Yeah, it seemed like they're 4 defensive backs, so the left corner, free safety, strong safety, right corner, we're all back in that play, and then you look over to your right, and then you see the receiver, Irving, for St. Vincent Pallotti. He's all alone back there, and really the only hope Brashear had is that it fell through his breadbasket, which it did go through his hands. He actually had to hold it together with his legs, and he managed to hang on, and it was a touchdown.
So Kofi Irving was the one that reeled in that last touchdown for the St. Vincent Pallotti high school team, the Panthers out of Maryland, giving them a lead of 20-6 at the half. So what adjustments are you looking for from the Brashear Bulls coming out of halftime, Ty?
Right now, they have to be able to time these running plays right now. They know what's coming, and that's the worst thing. They still can't stop it. They're going to have to go full swarm on there, but they have to somehow be ready for these play-action plays, as St. Vincent Pallotti has burned them before.
So coming out of the half, I would look for St. Vincent Pallotti, the Panthers, to continue what they're doing and continue to sprinkle in their passing game, be methodical with their run, maybe try to get their runners a little bit more outside in space, maybe do a couple screen passes, a couple misdirection plays, and still, like I said, mix up their pass game in there and continue to give them a heavy dose of Benning and Thomas Jr., sprinkling in Prince, and look for the big plays here in the second half. So we're just about set for second half play. It should be an interesting half here. See what adjustments were made. Both coaches went in, had a powwow with their players, and we'll see how this second half goes and who can make the plays to get out of here with a victory.
One more thing for Brashear. Brandon Pizzell has got to be a little bit more accurate with some of his passes. Even on those crossing routes, they've been able to get out there. Sometimes on the next play, he would do the same thing, and it'd be either in the feet or well over the vicinity of the receiver. So it's just improving that quarterback play.
So the Bulls are going to start out with the kick. The second half, they'll receive the kick. So Pizzell will be out there the first thing, and you'll be able to see what adjustments he made going forward. I'd like to see Pizzell maybe push the ball deep a little bit and challenge the Panthers a little bit. Kick is taken by number 1, Daquan Griffin, up the middle, and he drags the defenders forward, and he falls down just shy of the 35-yard line, where the Bulls will take over on their first possession.
And sometimes things like that, a nice little special teams play by Daquan Griffin. He manages to get it up close to the 35, maybe a little bit past it to start this.
So we talked about the TNT plays of success and said there was a new coach for the Bulls. See how that was going to play out. Then also for the Bulls to play mistake-free football and to make big plays. And for the Panthers, is going to play good defense, make plays on special teams, and no turnovers. So we'll see how that plays out this second half. Bazell back at quarterback, hands the ball off up the middle to his running back, and he steps to the left and cuts it back to the right to Sean Solomon, and he falls ahead for a 1-yard gain. Maybe the Bulls are going to have to open it up a little bit and go play action on first down and maybe get the ball deep, see if they can catch the Panthers napping a little bit, get back in this game.
It would be one of the things that would help them right now to establish some running game. They're down 13, so there is a worry that if they get a little bit more behind, they're kind of stuck in the past.
Bazell back to pass, and he goes over the middle, and he had a receiver wide open down the field. You see looks like he had number 7, Rasheed Saunders, all alone. So we'll see if they come back to that. We do have a flag on the play. Pass interference on the Panthers, 15-yard penalty, and that's going to be a first down. So today we haven't seen a whole lot of flags, unlike yesterday. Yesterday was a flag-ridden day, but today it's been pretty clean play by these young people.
Especially that second game for Emotep. I mean, really just about every other run they had was a holding call.
So that's a 1st and 10 for Bazell. Comes out, shotgun formation, 4 wide receiver set. Flanked by his running back, Sean Solomon, throws the ball over to the left flat, right side of the field. Actually, intended receiver was Daquan Griffin. Looks like he short-armed that ball and did not step into it. Wanted to step into that ball and point that finger and lead over to that receiver. So he comes back with a 2nd and 10 at about the 49-yard line for the Bulls.
Pizzell has to be able to step into those passes. He's been one of the few bright spots, even though there has been some misses by him.
Passes out, completed over that right side, and it looks like a penalty as well. Comes in late. Daquan Griffin has become his favorite receiver. Good pitch and catch by those 2 young men. Great communication. Personal foul, late hit on the defense, 15 yards added on. So looks like aided by a couple penalties here. Looks like the Bulls are on the move.
And that last penalty is just uncalled for. You can never have that penalty. It's just something that you don't do. A late hit penalty, that's just a loss of control.
Looks like Coach Moore has his troops ready to roll here. Got a couple of substitutions, players running off late here. Pizzell set, getting his guys together. We're just about set for play. Snap is off. Pizzell's back. He looks for a receiver, and he throws it behind his receiver, and is picked off by number 3. Mitchell Garner for the Panthers turns away the Bulls.
And it looks like there's a player down for Brashear as well.
So it looks like the Panthers will take over at the 13-yard line. Errant throw there by Pizzell, leading to the turnover. So that's the first big turnover of the game. As they were driving, they had an opportunity to get back in this game and get the game into a more manageable score to be able to make a run at the end. But great defense.
Yeah, great defense there. And I guess the story of that drive, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back for Brashear. They've been able to really get a lot further down the field since their touchdown. But unfortunately, they just threw it into coverage, and it's a nice pick by St. Vincent Pallotti, and they'll take back over on offense.
So we haven't seen much of Jermaine Williams either. Young man had a great catch in that first series, back shoulder throw, but he has not been targeted much since then. So we'd like to see maybe that young man get more involved in the game as well. Going forward, you have number 1, Daquan Griffin, who's been touching the ball a lot on jet sweeps and short passes, bubble screens, and having an impact on the game offensively and defensively. But we have to get a couple more players involved and see can we, as Western Pennsylvania team, get back in the game.
Yeah, and speaking of which, that actually was Griffin, who was down on the field, so he won't be out on defense as well, and he actually falls back down as well.
Yeah, it looks like he either has a hamstring or he's just cramping up real bad there. It's extremely humid out here today. Even after the rain, the torrential downpour, the rain, still very humid out here. And these young men have to make sure they stay hydrated, maybe take a couple salt tablets as well to make sure that they don't get into cramping. So we're set for play here. Panthers hand the ball off over the right side to one of their workhorses. That looks like Cedric Benning goes over the right side, brings up no gain. Second down and 10.
And really, that's one of the first times that Brashear has been able to stop them on the run, so we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 so far to begin the second half.
So once again, a handoff over the right side. And it's a big gash for number 6 up the middle. Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. gashes over the right side of the line. Gets to the secondary, is taken down. 20-yard gain on the play. Great run.
That's one of the few times, actually, that St. Vincent Pallotti has been able to get into the second level. They've just been hard charging it through 1st and 10. So, yeah, this is bad news for Brashear.
Hands the ball off up the middle again. He runs through tackles. And it looks like it. Looks like Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. You hear some of the fans for the Pallotti High School Panthers say, feed him, feed him. Young man wants the ball. He looks hungry. He's running hard.
And it's just been an inability to stop him and really any of the running back combination when you go with their quarterback and as well Benning.
You have to be careful here and look for quarterback now. Keeps the ball. He cuts on the outside, turns it up, gets the first down. He's hit hard by number 10. Kevin Smith comes up and lays a hit on Kenneth Prince, but not before he gets the first down. So it looks like the Panthers are on the move after turning away the Bulls and getting that turnover on the interception.
What else could you say about that two-headed monster for the Panthers? Benning and Bullock Thomas Jr. have just been all over that defense.
With a sprinkle in a little bit of Prince, and you have a looks like you have a great opportunity for success. Looks like we have an illegal procedure on the offense. It's going to back the Panthers up 5 yards here. So that would make it a first down and 15 yards to go.
First false start for St. Vincent Pallotti. Very disciplined offensive line. Difference between the second game of last night.
The Panthers are in the pistol formation shotgun. Hand the ball off over that right side. And it looks like The Bulls are ready for this one and limited to Cedric Benning to a short gain of about 2 yards on that play.
It's really been pick your poison for them, and they've been all over them all game.
So this looks like this might be a play where I would be talking to Coach Moore and saying, hey, guys, be aware. Look for that play action. Don't let anybody behind you right here, because this might be a position of field where they could go for the jugular, put this game out of reach.
This is where they beat them in quarters, that cover 4 back there, so we'll look up.
Looks like a handoff up the middle again, working the ball forward. Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. on the carry, moving ahead 4 or 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 6 there.
So manageable for them in this situation, 3rd and 5.
Panthers are out, shotgun formation. Pistol look, 4 wides. Fakes the ball, has a wide open receiver. Once again, catches the receiver in the seam. Number 15 for the Panthers gets downfield. Ignatius Williams with the great reception. Almost broke it loose for a touchdown.
And really, they've been terrorizing that cover 1 of Brashear once again. Now it looks like if I'm Brashear, you probably have to move the cover 2. That seems like it's been able to help them a little bit more out here, because that nickel 155 has just been eaten up by the Panthers.
The problem for the Bulls is they need to bring more people up into the box. So they have the 4-man front, 3 linebackers it looks like, but they're still not able to stop the run, and they definitely haven't gotten any pressure on Prince, where he hasn't really been under duress here.
Well, there's not really a lot they could do in this situation because Prince has kept them honest. That's the one thing that has made their running game. It's really been the piece de resistance for them. The fact that Prince can throw really changes the dynamic of what this defense can do against them to stop those running situations. You can't load the box because he'll throw out of that box, and if you try to play pass coverage, they're just going to hand it off to those 2 running backs, or he'll take it himself.
So we have shotgun formation, and it looks like Prince keeps the ball, goes over the left side on a quarterback design keeper. Gains about 4 yards on the play. Brings up a 3rd down and 4 on the play. So we are down to 4 minutes and 35 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter, live from the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone football showcase at the famous Woodland Hills Wolvarena George A. Novak Field. I'm Craig Thomas, along with my guest host, Ty Polk. We are looking at some good football here from the Wolvarena. 3rd down, shotgun formation. Little motion from the left, hands the ball off. And it looks like it's going to be stacked. Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. stacked up, maybe short of about 1 yard, short 1 yard of the 1st down. So no doubt that the Pallotti Panthers are going to go for it here, 4th down and 1.
And they've been able to pick up those short yardage situations anyway with the running backs. So you imagine this is going to be pretty easy for them. But then again, Brashear has been able to stand them up sometimes.
We'll see if Kenneth Prince goes for the jugular. I'd be on high alert here that he fakes the ball, maybe looks for a receiver in the end zone for a touchdown, for an easy touchdown. Or he may hand the ball off.
Well, Brashear needs to stack stops right now.
Hands the ball off over the right side. Drives the ball forward. Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. looking like a bull there, running through tackles, carrying people down inside the 5-yard line to the 4-yard line. First and goal for the Panthers.
What happens if you look like a bull against the Bulls?
So the Panthers break the huddle in the same formation. 4 receivers set. Motion from the left, hands the ball off up the middle. Gets the ball down to about the 3-yard line. Bullock Thomas Jr., the ball carrier, he's getting a heavy dose. The Bulls are getting a heavy dose of Bullock Thomas Jr. here in this drive.
And really, it's just been, he's been the main guy out there. It's also been Benning as well, but he's really been a guy that they've counted on to bowl people over at times.
So we'll see here. We are a 2nd down and goal here for the Pallottis. They can put this game in a out of reach here. It looks like a pass thrown up and incomplete there. Great defense there by number 10. Mason Stewart tries to go up and high point the ball, throwing a fade route over that left side and wasn't able to go up and hold on to the ball. Good defense by number 10, Kevin Smith, for the Bulls.
And really, that was a fade to the back of the end zone, so that's great defense by Brashear there. You're on an island, and you stand up for yourself there, so nice play.
So that brings up 3rd down. No doubt we're in 4-down territory, so we can look forward to a heavy dose of Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. or maybe Cedric Benning. But don't forget about the Prince. So the Panthers break the huddle. Shotgun formation, fakes the ball, and it looks like a miscommunication as Prince tries to fake the ball to Clayton Bullock Jr., and Bullock goes the opposite way for a loss of about 2 yards on the play. So brings up 4th down. We'll see if the Bulls can buck up and make a stop here.
And really, that's the first mental error by the Panthers all game in terms of that miscommunication on offense. So far, they've been well put together in terms of getting their offense out there, getting them to, well, not be filled with penalties like yesterday, like Emotep was, in terms of holdings and also false starts. So a rare misstep. We'll see what they can do on 4th.
So we're set for play. A big 4th down here. Under 2 minutes. Hands the ball off. And it looks like coming through on a blitz was number 21, Roman Whittington. He's a running backer and a linebacker. Shoots the hole, 6 feet, 210 pounds, to make the play in the backfield and to keep the Bull team in this game.
And that's a big stand by Brashear. They've been able to catch on a little bit with some of the run defense in the last couple of plays, but that's their first big stop, and that could be a momentum changer for them.
So going forward, we have to see what the Bulls can do with 1 minute and 1 second left here on the clock. The 2021 Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Kickoff Classic Showcase live from the Wolvarena. Craig Thomas and Ty Polk with your call for today's game. 1st down, and 10 yards ago at about the 6-yard line, quarterback rolls to the right and he throws the ball in basically low for his receiver, intended receiver number 7, Rasheed Saunders. Pazel, we want to see Pazel push the ball deep down the field. I haven't seen him throw the ball down the field since early in the game. Looks like we have another receiver trotting in here, a couple guys trotting in. See if we can get him the ball here and put some pressure on this Panther defense.
It's really about hitting them in the chest right now. He's been throwing it low into their feet, and they really haven't been able to get themselves, even if they make the catch, an opportunity to go get some yards after catch.
So we got single coverage at the bottom of the screen at the bottom of the field here with Jermaine Saunders. Pazel looks, and he tries to get the ball deep, and you have a penalty. Just as the doctor ordered, try to get the ball over the top, and that's what they did here. Looks like they're going to get 15 yards here and get out of the shadows of their own end zone and move the ball forward.
And really, that's the important thing. I mean, that's their first shot, probably since towards like the middle of the second quarter by Pazel, and he's got the arm for it. It's just getting the accuracy, or at least making the defense draw those penalties.
So with 52.1 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, looks like the Brashear Bulls have an opportunity to maybe go down here and put some points on the board and make this a close ball game going into the fourth. Pazel back, hands the ball off over the right side to his running back, number 4, and he is taken down immediately. Sean Solomon. Not sure you're going to get into the ball game with a loss of 5 on the first down. That brings up a second down. And about 14 to go here for the Brashear Bulls. Pazel back at quarterback. Low snap, gets the ball under a little pressure, takes it down. Pazel is bought down in the backfield. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter here live from the famous Wolvarena here in Turtle Creek, PA, with the St. Vincent Pallotti High School Panthers out of Maryland leading 20-6 over the Brashear Bulls. So my name is Craig Thomas with my co-host Ty Polk, live on the Roxamore Sports Network. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with fourth quarter play. Welcome back to live coverage here at the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Showcase here at the Wolvarena. We have a third down play starting the fourth quarter. Pazel's back. He's under duress, and he's taken down for a loss, a sack, as it looks like the Panthers come up with a little bit of a blitz and put pressure on Pazel and take him down for a loss, which is going to force them to punt deep out of their own territory.
And unable to take advantage of the pass interference penalty that got them out of the shadow in the goal line, they moved back into the shadow. And really after that, they just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, there was a pass interference call that got him out, and then they are now backed up again. So the Panthers have an opportunity to maybe get some points off of this. We'll see if they try to put some pressure on the kicker. And a punt is up, and it's tipped. It looks like it's a very short kick. Takes a fortuitous bounce for the Bulls, but it still only amounts to about maybe a 20-yard kick to the 35-yard line.
It's one of two things. That either didn't really get off his foot well, or someone did tip it. From my vantage point, it just looked like it didn't get off his foot well.
So it looks like the Panthers are primed, they're ready, in great position to put more points on the board, already having a sizable lead, 20-6 over the Brashear Bulls here in the Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Showcase Classic, brainchild of Ron Corsi, the now ex-athletic director here at Woodland Hills. But thank you, Ron, for opportunity and your brain to bring this and put this all together. And up the right side goes the workhorse, Cedric Benning, and he puts the foot in the ground, turns it north and south, gains about 15 yards on that 1st and 10, rambling, bumbling, stumbling, going for the touchdown. Great run by that young man.
And once again, Brashear, it's just that the gates are open for them. They've just been able to run wherever they needed to do, and that right side just off between the guard and the tackle has been prime position for the Panthers.
So it looks like the Panthers have another running back in there. Looks like Donovan Wetzel has been checked in. He's in the backfield, number 32. Pistol formation, fakes the ball, throws the ball deep, and it looks like close, and we have pass interference. Should have been a touchdown. Great pass, great pitch, a little bit of a bump there late. Flag on the play, and let's wait for the call here.
That penalty on Kevin Smith, and really when you talk about Nathan Stewart, even though the interference happened while the ball was in the air, he still had a chance to catch it anyway. That's just great stick-to-itiveness by Stewart to almost make the play regardless.
So the Panthers are cute. 1st down and 10, just inside the 10-yard line. Come on there, traditional set, pistol, shotgun formation, flag on a play before the snap. They'll have an illegal procedure. That's going to back the Panthers up 5 yards. Ball's placed on the 15-yard line. 10 minutes and 2 seconds left to go on the clock here. Live at the Wolvarena, Craig Thomas along with Ty Polk making a call here. The St. Vincent Pallotti Panthers out of Maryland come down so far, and they are basically giving the business to the Brashear Bulls here in Western Pennsylvania Showcase Classic. Hands the ball off to one of his workhorses over the right side. He's ahead for a gain of maybe about 5 yards on that play. That looked like Clayton Bullock. Thomas Jr. once again, he's been a workhorse all night, carrying a bulk load of the carries so far. Kenneth Prince hands the ball off once again to Bullock, and he carries defenders down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. Cedric Benning on the carry there.
It must feel really great to have two running backs that you place in any situation and you're expected to get positive yards each time.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4. We are no doubt in 4th down territory for the Panthers as they lead 20-6 here with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go on the clock. Snap to Prince. He looks over the middle, throws the ball to his receiver, hits him in a bad spot in the hands, and he drops it. Number 1, Nathan Stewart. Perfect pitch. Only thing was missing was the catch.
And that one's just unfortunate on that quick slant. He just couldn't properly get his hands underneath the ball. So St. Vincent Pallotti has been able to get out of these fourth down situations and pick up the first. Now there's no opportunity to pick it up. They have to score.
So here's the game, ladies and gentlemen. 4th down with 8 minutes to go on the clock. The Bulls need a play to get back in this one, but the Panthers will look to close the door. And it looks like we have an offsides penalty here. Going to go against the Bulls here. Looks like Prince used his voice there to draw them offsides with a hard count.
So it gets them a little bit closer on the encroachment, and that opens up a variety of situations. Not that they didn't have them before, but the quarterback could just dive over the top and score.
So we're all set for play here. 4th down. For the Panthers, Prince takes the ball, and he eludes the defender. And Prince is in for the score. Kenneth Prince on a quarterback keeper, pushing the lead to 26-6 over the Bulls from Brashear.
And again, a variety of situations they could have done there. They could have handed off to the running backs, but they had the quarterback as well. He finds the corner, and he'll score, and that's likely the game for Brashear, as SVP will probably walk away with this one handily.
So Prince is out. He's the holder. Gets the ball down. Up. Kick is up and good. Pushing the lead up to 27-6. I'm Craig Thomas, along with my co-host Ty Polk, here at the Woodland Hills, Western Pennsylvania versus Everyone Showcase Kickoff Classic here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. We'll be right back on Roxamore Sports with more action. Welcome back to Live Play here, where the St. Vincent Pallotti Panthers have just scored to push their lead up to 26-6. On the ensuing kickoff, it looks like the Bulls get an extra effort, great effort, run back, and the ball comes loose. But we have a flag on the play. The ball was recovered by the Panthers, so we'll see how this whole thing shakes out with this flag on the play. So it looks like right now, for the Bulls, the wheels are falling off the wagon a little bit. We might want to tighten them up. So it looks like they called a 15-yard penalty on a return team, but they marked it off against the kicking team. So it looks like the Panthers are going to get the ball, but the penalty was marked off against them. So maybe that was just a mistake by the referee to call it against the return team.
Well, I know you said the wheels have fallen off, but I think they left the wagon a long time ago, sadly. But really, it's just been St. Vincent Pallotti just been able to run the ball as they please, with a couple stops here and there by Brashear to get them some confidence, including a stop on 4th and goal, but that hasn't deterred the Panthers in any way.
So it looked like the Panthers have had a change at quarterback here. Looks like they have a new quarterback, number 14 in the game, Zaire Hartwell. And it looks like running back is in the game, number 32, Donovan Wetzel is in the game for them as well. So look like their big guns are checking it in for the day. Great hard day's work for those guys.
Those are different names. No, 14 is Lowry. So on handoff, quick pass, and that one's knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Tamir Robinson, incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like Amir Lowry is in the game right now at quarterback for the Panthers.
32 is Robert Mitchell.
And number 32 is Robert Mitchell, who's in the game as well.
So another
hands the
handoff
ball
there.
off to number 34, it looks like, who carries the ball there. Timothy Haywood. Pick up a 4. It's going to be a 3rd down and 6. So it looks like the Panthers have checked it in here and took their starters out. And they're content with just trying to run the ball and put this one away here. Handing off up the middle. Number 34 once again as he carries the players down with Timothy Haywood, the ball carry. Now these two guys back in the backfield now are just a little bit bigger. It looks like they bought in the jumbo package at running back here. Brings up a 4th down and 1 here at the 42-yard line for the Panthers. We are just about under the 7-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Handoff up the middle. Ahead for the 1st down is number 34, Haywood. So that's going to keep the clock rolling and move the chains.
And Haywood just dragging everyone from Brashear with him. And one of the Brashear players, number 21, Roman Whittington, coming up a little bit smart from that. And it just seemed like everyone was trying to gang tackle him, and Hayward just said no.
Amir Lowry in the controls there. Amir Lowry is a freshman. So it's good to see the young man get in the game. Get some rep on varsity. Good run there. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, bouncing off of people, keeping his feet moving. Gets Haywood down inside the 25, taken down barely at the 25-yard line. First down.
Man, you look at the running back stable for this team, and Hayward just roly-polying off of just about everyone on that team, running them over, spinning around. It's just awesome to see, and you have to be really glad you're not seeing them in the Whippeal.
Absolutely. Quarterback hands the ball off up the middle, and he is ahead for a gain. Looks like number 32 for the Panthers. He's ahead for a gain. Robert Mitchell on the carry, ahead, gaining for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Second and 6, and we're under the 5-minute mark here from the Wolvarena. Game number 1, up 3 for today. Shotgun formation, fakes the handoff, takes off up the middle, bounces it out to the right side, and is taken down for a gain of about 3 yards. A lot of running. Young man has to make sure he tucks the ball. Amir Lowry, freshman, tucked the ball away and protects that ball, but he made a good play. That's going to bring a 3rd down and 3. So I'm looking to see if they allow the young man to throw the ball. He's a freshman. Looks like a good-looking freshman. Pretty big young man. It looks like he's going to have a bright future, an opportunity to play here when he gets his chance.
I mean, Rhett, it's a perfect time to do it, up 21. Let's see if he can throw the ball as well.
3rd down. Hands the ball off over the left side. Wide open. He's up the field and ahead for the 1st down. Timothy Haywood. Great carry by that young man. So you got some hungry runners here for the Panthers. And they're running the ball at will right now. Brings up a 1st down and goal for the Panthers at about the 8-yard line. Just outside of about the 8-yard line.
I don't know if it's his shoulder pads, but Haywood is just wide out there, and it's just someone you do not want to tackle, especially late in the game in August.
So we are under the 4-minute mark here at the Wolvarena. Looks like a pass, and it's wide open, and it's a great pitch and catch. Touchdown for number 1. Nathan Stewart goes up and snags it out the air for the Panthers. So great throw by that young man and great catch to push that lead up to 33-6 for the St. Vincent Pallotti Panthers over the Bulls from Brashear.
And really you can cap it as you couldn't have a better game for St. Vincent Pallotti.
Kick is down, and it's up, and it's no good. So, with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left on the clock, the St. Vincent Pallotti Panthers are up 33-6 here at the Showcase Western Pennsylvania versus everyone at the Wolvarena over the Brashear Bulls. I'm Craig Thomas along with Ty Polk, and we'll be right back. Back to live coverage here at the Wolvarena, the Showcase Western Pennsylvania versus everyone, with the Pilates Panthers kicking the ball off to the Brashear Bulls. Spirited run back by number 7, Rasheed Saunders of the Bulls, brings the ball up to about the 30-yard line. But the Bulls are behind by a bunch here, 33-6 here in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the game. So, Ty, what have you seen in this second half, and have you seen anything you liked out of either team?
Well, for the Panthers, they've just, again, been able to run however they want, and when they ask their quarterbacks to pass, they've been able to complete them. Top speed, quick slants, long
Okay.
passes.
So for the Bulls basically have been able to do what they want. They've been able to run the ball and continue.
Yeah, they've just been able to pass the ball whenever they needed to. And now a quick handoff going off to the left side, and a big hit there. As Solomon's feeling that one.
Yeah, so Solomon's still in the game running the ball for Brashear. Game is a little bit out of reach. Make sure you getting his players some work, but you don't want your starters to get injured here late in the game. Maybe look at some of your younger players and put them in and see what they could do here at the end of this game to build on something for, the regular season and give them some experience. So here with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go on the clock, Brashear breaks the huddle with their quarterback still at the helm. Pazel hands the ball off over the left side again to his workhorse, number 4, Sean Solomon. Gets ahead for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
And really, again, we haven't really talked about the Panthers' defense. They've also been up to the challenge as well. Though really, it's been self-inflicted wounds by...
So we're under 2 minutes officially here. Western Pennsylvania versus everyone. Just about 2 minutes from everyone taking the lead over the Western Pennsylvania teams here, putting Western Pennsylvania down 2-1 with the teams taking 2 victories in the last 2 games here. Pazel rolls out. He looks for a receiver, and he has a little bit of green in front of him, and he doesn't go for the first down. He runs out of bounds at maybe about 2 or 3 yards short of the first down.
Still an excellent opportunity for him to probably try to take a chance there on the run, but he was content to get the yardage on the ground. So we'll see if they can convert closer to the line, 3rd and 5.
So, yeah, you'd like to see Pazel let it all hang out in that one and go for the first down, especially with so much green. One person to beat, you got to make a move and try to make sure that you get the first down for your team. But that brings up a 4th down here with about 1 minute and 22 seconds left on the clock. Pazel's under a little pressure. Feet gets a little bit antsy. And he goes down, a sack with 1:15. That causes a turnover on downs for the Panthers. So that's pretty fitting for the Panthers, a culmination of their day, and to end this game with a sack here. No doubt they should go into the victory formation and take a couple kneel downs before we get to game number 2 up on the docket for today. And what game is that, Stan?
And next up, we'll see Pine Richland take on Harrisburg.
So Pine Richland coming off of a lot of changes during the offseason. Looks like they're ready to go over in that corner of the end zone, chopping at the bit, ready to get on the field. And it looks like a fake misdirection, broken play, and the quarterback is taken down for a short gain. Amir Lowry looks like him and either the running back or the quarterback turned the wrong way, missed the handoff, and Lowry just took the ball, tried to make something out of it, but under 1 minute.
Sometimes the smartest play you can make is the one you don't make, and he managed to get himself down there and not try to create an opportunity where Brashear could rip the ball out of his hands. So far, a pretty good start for the freshman.
Handoff up the middle.
Haywood just pushing the pile there.
Haywood just moving the pile here. So normally what Sam and I usually would do, the Lumberjack, we would pick our players of the game and decide the TNT players of the game. And we didn't do it yesterday, but I like to get back on track with things. And so it's going to be the Thomas and Ty TNT players of the game. No doubt you're going to take your players from St. Vincent Pallotti.
Yeah, I think I might actually make, co-players of the game. You have to give it to Cedric Benning and Clayton Bullock Thomas Jr. They really led the way on the ground as well. And also you can give, a third star to the quarterback, Kenneth Prince. 2 touchdowns and a couple running touchdowns himself.
So I have to concur with you on that one, in agreement. So we have 3 co-players of the game, along with that offensive line up front, because they did an admirable job of opening up the hole. So we're just going to make the entire offense for the St. Vincent Pallotti team the players of the game, as they dominated the play here at the Woodland Hills Wolvarena over the Brashear Bulls. So final score 33-6 here in the first matchup of the day here at the 2021 Western PA Showcase, Western PA versus everyone. I'm Craig Thomas along with Ty Polk, and we will be right back here with our second game. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Get your popcorn, get your butter, and get your pop. Be ready for an entertaining game, and we'll be right back.